All right, we are back recording, not back live. Hip Hop 95 LA's number one streaming hip hop station still. This is the radio show about nothing. What's good, twins? Last episode of August. We're all almost through the year.
Yes, sir. Yes,
75% through?
Yes, sir. 75% through the year.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back, twins. We happy to be back.
Yup.
We are back. And honestly, man, it's been a long break. The way we've been recording lately, it feels weird when we miss something.
Yeah, no cap.
It's like I was making the schedule today or whatever we were talking about, and I was like, good gracious, we missed a lot.
Yeah.
The first things first, man. I want to give a happy birthday to Joe Budden. I'm joking.
Is it Joe Budden?
It is Joe Budden.
Oh, yeah, shout out Joe Budden. Don't shout him out. Joe Budden be hitting people X's up. Listen, Joe, while I got your attention, I'm not the other ish nigga. Somebody tag me in that. I don't play that.
So I will say, I watched the Joe Budden podcast religiously. That episode is way funnier.
Oh, it's hilarious. I watched the whole episode.
Oh, you've seen the episode?
I watched the whole
because they are so funny, bro.
It's so weird for me because like I have like a kind of unique name. Mm-hmm. So when I see niggas just tweet out ish, I just automatically assume they was talking to me. I was like, I swear to God, opened my Twitter. It was like, damn, Joe Budden be going at ish X's. Got right about the bed. I was like, what the fuck? I said, oh, it's war? Like, okay. All right. It's crazy. Thank God he was talking about me because the shit he was saying, the shit Joe
bro, he was talking crazy to dudes, bro.
He said, I hit all y'all exes before. He said, yeah, we were smoking hookah. Time out, bro.
But in context, not that big of a deal. Those are friends. Joe Budden, what's her face, are 50 years old, and it wasn't that serious, but great content. Shout out to them.
Hilarious.
Amazing podcast. Yeah. Joe Budden, I know you have a network. I know the last couple of shows didn't work out. I promise we will.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Really just have Ian hit us up,
right,
or anybody else on the show. I don't give a fuck. Just hit us up.
Shout out Ian. Was almost my agent. I just can't afford him.
type shit. Let's be real about it.
Shout out Vince Staples too.
Shout out to Vince Staples always, bro.
Hilarious on the pod.
That's one of the dream guests of mine. Is Vince Staples. I love dude.
I'm scared to talk to Vince Staples.
A little bit, bro. I definitely got to talk to some people before I talk to Vince.
I think that's why the podcast be so funny because everybody's so uncomfortable. Like niggas be asking him regular questions. He's like, no, nah.
So we can start this off by just giving a well-deserved hand clap to Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh yeah.
The world champion of the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. And I think they won the 4x1 too. Did they win the 4x1? They did win the 4x1, yes.
I hope so, yeah.
They won all three. So she cleaned up at the World Championships this year, getting ready for the Olympics. I pray to God she wins gold at the Olympics. She deserves it. Hey, man. And that's how you come back from adversity, bro. That's really is.
You know, come back from tragedy.
Adversity, tragedy, all of that. And you see what work do. Simple as that. You see what work do. And so
Shout out to God.
God did. It's Thursday night, August 31st. So all of the music is coming out tonight. So just to run down, Nicki Minaj is dropping a single, Doja Cat is dropping a single, Lil Wayne is dropping a single. And I'm missing somebody else. But those are the three main singles dropping this year. Big names. So excited to hear that. Drake's album is somewhere in the ether.
It exists, kind of.
It exists somewhere out there.
We think we know it exists.
Did you think the album was coming last Friday?
No, until they changed the website. When they changed the website to the Kobe stuff with the For All the Dogs, I thought it was like, okay, it's going to come out today, 24. Yeah, but...
Yeah, I thought it was coming out when I saw Amazon post it.
Yeah.
And when I saw Amazon posted, that let me know that it was supposed to come out. Yeah. It was just something happened. Right. Something happened, sample didn't get cleared. Something happened to where he pushed this back 2 weeks. I expect it to come out in the next week or two. But we are gearing up for a big fourth quarter. Like real big fourth quarter.
I feel bad for the niggas that didn't drop because they thought Drake was dropping. I would have called my label, yo, drop it. Oh, he not dropping. Tour date's out now.
But speaking of tour dates, Travis is going on tour, Utopia tour. Tickets are on sale now. They're actually not as bad as I thought they were.
How much? By the time I got there, the floor seats were gone. What? I swear there were no 4C. So Ticketmaster by the time
go to Vivid. Vivid, everything is cheaper usually, and Vivid has the upper seats, the upper 200s at State Farm are, I think the lowest was like 115.
That's not
bad. And the seats was like 225, 250. Yeah, that's like, it's worth it. That's traffic. You're getting to one of the best rap concerts you can get.
Yeah,
that's worth it.
That's not bad at all.
No,
I love that album.
I do too. Yeah, very great project. So that can kind of take me to where I've been wanting to go for a couple weeks before we get into the NFL. NFL is a week away, man.
Yeah. Oh,
college football started last weekend. Got a game tonight. The big Saturday starts is this Saturday. But before we get into all the good sports stuff, I did want to ask you something that's been on my mind heavily, especially with the way rap has been this year with not too many artists dropping. The artists that we get, the albums that we get aren't from the biggest artists, and a lot of them have been mediocre at best. We have gotten some great projects from Gunna, Killer Mike, Travis, of course. Russ dropped a really good project, Quavo. But here and there, it's very here and there. I named 6 artists, and we're 8 months into the year. So just the broad question for me right now is, do you think we're in a good space in rap for the future? Yeah. I know we have been in a good space in the rap since fucking the 90s. Yeah, but where do you see rap in the next 10 years? Because it is, looking at the aspect, I saw Ebro say labels are looking more towards African artists and pop artists now, and they're getting away from the rappers. I don't know how much truth it is to that, but I do know if Ebro said that the labels are saying that there is truth to that, he at that space, you can't just make up some shit like that. So I do know there's validity to that. So I'm wondering, where do you see rap in the next 10 to 15 years, and are we headed in the right direction?
Yeah. So I think I think rap is kind of plateaued, but in context of where it stopped, I wish I had like a little graph I could show y'all. But like plateau, basically you go up and you stop and it gets flat basically for the people watching. And with the context, rap went from not the main genre in the United States, probably not top 2, to the sound of the United States. So I think it's kind of just nowhere to go from here, really. Okay. With the biggest artist in the world, if it's not Beyonce, who's like in another category, but like current artists still adding to their like lore, it's Drake.
Yes.
And then if it's not Drake, I mean,
after Taylor Swift, and Bad Bunny,
and Taylor Swift, who's going backwards to her old music, and Bad Bunny, who's just a different type of beast. Yeah. But even he does a lot with rap music. He's big into the rap culture.
His sound is rap.
Literally,
what you're saying. Yeah.
And like once you get to the top, it's like the Animal Planet shows where, even if something die in the Serengeti, none of the animals eat until the lion get there. And with rap being such a big business now, there's so much going on behind the scenes more than in previous years, decades, or runs where you used to see like Hove, Outkast, Lauryn Hill, all them drop within a week or so. Right. Just because, fuck it, it's going to sell anyway.
Right.
Now, it's like, nah, I need these weeks. Nah, I need these dates. I got to go number 1. I got to this, that, and the third. So when you have a couple big artists kind of hovering over this year, because I really think that's what happened the last couple months, where you got these really big artists like, Travis about to drop, Drake about to drop, Beyonce been number 1 for 30 weeks. Then add a little.
Morgan Wallen was number 1 for 2 weeks.
You throw a little crazy spice in there, whoever Morgan Wallen was, like, you're like, all right, well, things get moved, because it's only 52 weeks for a
type shit.
And the last, 12, I guess what we're kind of hearing now, really don't matter. Like, after that Grammy deadline, that's when everything resets. So I think it's just a small window. But moving forward in the future, I think rap is still in a great space because there's no kind of replacement for rap or what it brings to the culture. Because even with individual artists not becoming as big, or like nobody on a run, or nobody's dropping like a classic or anything like that, rap is continuing to expand and grow. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, like how like whole producers score movies now. Like rap is continuing to expand in different ways outside of just the streaming.
Okay, I really like that perspective. I am worried about rap in this way. I think you're right. We're kind of at a plateau right now. And that leads into the point I was making, which is I don't see a superstar on the horizon. And I thought Lil Baby was that superstar, but I don't know. Right. Because when I'm looking at these superstars starting when I'll start when I was born. So we'll start with Hove. And then we had Jeezy and T.I., and then we had the Wayne, and then the Kanye, and 50. Like, we had that big thing in the 2000s. And when you look at them, and then you jump to the 2010s, and you get J. Cole, Kendrick, Nicki, and Drake. And I'll throw Meek in there also because he was consistent for the large part of that. When you have those, that's so much versatility. There is, when you wanted something, those 6 artists I named in each era was going to give you something you wanted. I don't see that anymore. And that is what is worrying me. The next 5 or 6 years is going to be good because Drake is going to drop another 3 or 4 albums. Kendrick is going to drop again. Cole is going to drop again. So the mega artists are going to keep dropping and keep this afloat. But I think what made rap so dominant was the 10 artists below the top 3 of them. Right. When you had Wale and J. Cole before he became J. Cole, and Future and Thug and the rest of them. Like, we can keep going. Wiz. Yeah. So
I definitely understand that.
That is what is scaring me, is I don't see that. And I would say you look at Gunna and you say maybe it's him, but because of his situation, I don't know. I was looking at Thug as that next superstar. I thought before Thug went to jail, he was going to drop a phenomenal album, going tour, and we were going to start looking at him as that next star. So the only person I see as that next star who is already in his stardom is Travis. Right. But it takes more than one to really dominate like we're supposed to. And so to that, you say what?
Okay, so that's a great point, and I would, because we always try to mix sports and music. It likens back to the conversations where they talk about like how which eras are amazing, and I think we talked about this where the top 5 guys in the league at all time, like they're all timers. No matter what year you pull, you can pull any of them. It's 5, no doubt, first ballot Hall of Famers. But what really separates the amazing times in the league and not so amazing is the 5 through 15 niggas. Yes. Like, how far do you go before it's a major drop off? And from that perspective, I totally agree that like earlier definitely in the decade, but earlier definitely in the 2010s, where even if you weren't listening to whoever was the big megastar, the 10, 12 artists below them were right there. And I think the last time we were at a point like that was probably 2016-ish. But since then, because the different paths that all these artists kind of took, it's kind of interesting, like that all these different artists took different paths that have either derailed them or made them bigger than we thought they were, or some just literally stopped dropping too. So I definitely agree with you right now. There isn't that dearth of talent underneath like the top 5 or 6 guys that we're listening to.
That is what is worrying me, because if we think about 2 Chainz, now that if we think about that early 2000s era, I'm thinking of 2 Chainz, I'm thinking of Rich Homie, I'm thinking of, like I said, Wiz, Juicy J was dropping a lot then. I know he's older, but he was still putting out music at a high clip. And then you can just go down the list. And now kind of that next is Griselda and those boys, but that's so niche. And so it's not really what I'm looking for, because 2 Chainz was global. 2 Chainz became global. Wiz became global. So that is the issue, is that I think I don't want y'all to think I'm saying it's no good music out, no good rap music. I am not saying that at all. I am saying there is a difference between the great music that Griselda is making and a superstar in rap. There's just 2 differences.
Let me pose this. Let's try to turn it one more way. Do you think it's a regional thing? Because think about the way hip hop hands off decades, runs, times where early, let's say like 2016 with Thug, Future, all them, Migos, all them. That's one region of, this is a change in music. We haven't had another big region challenge Atlanta's supremacy at all in 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah, like West Coast definitely could do it, but TDE don't drop. New York, there's no guy. I mean, closest you get, you would be Buffalo and Griselda. But other than that, there's no concentration. And then you'll have one or two people, like you'll have YB and them in Louisiana and all that. But there's no collection of like 2, 3, 4, 5 artists that are building up together, working up together, and getting popular together at once, like we had with Migos, Thug, Future, Rich Homie, all them at one time, where you're like, man, even if you're not listening to this, if you are listening to this city's music right now, you're seeing what's going to be next.
Yeah. And that is what it was next.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to music now, you hear a lot of Future and a lot of you hear a lot of Atlanta. Just put that.
You
hear
dude,
a lot of
like
mainly the Migos. Honestly,
did you see that tweet about asking if they were legends?
Yeah, that I don't even think that's a question. Yeah. Like, they changed music,
bro. You can't listen to rap music. You cannot listen to rap music without Migos ad-libs.
Yeah, like,
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're in pop songs. They're in pop. They're
everywhere.
Has a Migos ad-lib song, like,
bruh, like, and a 2 Chainz. It's literally an Atlanta song. Like, dog, you hear both of them. So yeah, I definitely the Migos are a legend. I don't even want to entertain that. If you don't think that you probably from New York. But
shout out y'all niggas.
But yeah, I think another thing that plays a part in this is when you're looking at, because I would say after the guys of Drake, J. Cole, and Drake, J. Cole, I would throw Tyler in there, and Kendrick, of course. And I think Nicki is out of here. Like, she's in that, but they're out. Like, all those people are out of here.
Yeah.
I would say the next leg of that is Baby, Gunna, Baby Keem, and I think I'm missing one. Baby, Gunna, Baby Keem, and it is one more young artist on the way up. ESTG I would throw in there, actually.
Okay.
Bag I would throw in there. Bunny Bag I would throw in that.
Roddy Ricch not in here no more.
That's crazy.
You can't say it. We can't say it no more.
That's crazy. I will just say it for the sake of the conversation.
Shout out Roddy Ricch, bro.
But damn,
shout out.
You're right.
We believe in you, Roddy.
I still believe in you, bro. You got one more to prove yourself. But
come on.
But yeah, so that's 6 artists, and then the women. The women are running shit right now. Meg Lotto, the City Girls. Shout out to Sexy Red. So shout out Sexy Red. So you look at that 10 right now, and unfortunately, and I don't like to be the person to say this because I think rap is supposed to be fun. I think outside of Gunna's last album, what you're missing from them is substance in their music that resonates.
Yeah.
I think the shoot 'em up bang bang music is great and fun and important for rap. But I think at some point, one of them has to be the one to drop that project that's like, oh,
yeah,
okay, so you're different. And I think that's Gunna's last project, but you know what he's going through right now. So that is what I'm looking for that next echelon of artists is the project. Right. The Take Care, the Dreams and Nightmares, the Pink Friday, that's what I'm looking for.
I think definitely of those artists mentioned or just young artists in general, if I had to pick one of them for sure, I think it would be Baby Keem. Okay. But I definitely do agree with you, like, right now, we're not seeing any, I want to make sure I word this right. Like, nothing's sticking. Nothing sticking.
That's perfect. That's perfect. You said that perfect.
Sticking.
You worded that perfectly. Yeah.
The verses, I like. The videos are cool. I like the songs, but it's nothing sticking to where it goes from this is a nice song or this is a nice verse to, oh, they might have something. Like, oh yeah, they might be, and we don't get that. And for whatever reason, it could be the financial situation of music has changed in a way where, maybe dropping albums not as important as putting this Fashion Nova link up with this single or showing up to this event. Where I could drop 2 songs. Eat off them 2 songs the whole summer. Like
type shit.
Yeah.
And that brings me to exactly what I had next, which was the labels. Yeah. And I think they play a part in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think they're telling, backwards. I don't think the artists are telling them, man, fuck this shit, bro. I'm going to drop 17 songs, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I think it's more so the label is coming to them like, yo, we need to hit this demo, we got to hit this demo, we got to hit this demo. Yeah. And when the artist hears that, they understand, all right, I have 3 songs that sound like this. Yep. We'll take Drake. I got to have 3 Jamaican songs. I got to have 10 rap songs. I got to have 3 R&B songs. Literally. So you're hitting different demos, and they don't necessarily have the ability to do that right now as you would hope they do. And so that is leading to long albums where you're trying to be different, but in doing that, the album is kind of sounding the same. So now you have 17 songs, or 19 songs, and 11 of them are really good, but they're mixed in between these 10, 8 or 9 filler songs.
Gotta have it songs.
We need these for the playlist songs, and so it's messing up the art of an album. And that is why the 3 albums that are amazing this year, Killer Mike, Gunna, and Travis, they're shorter albums. They stick to a point. Travis' album is in and out. You're flowing in and out of songs. The features are fitting the sound of the album, and not just, hey, Drake is on my song. Same thing with the other 2 albums I mentioned. So I think that is what we're missing. And it's hard to talk about Travis in this light because of the subgenre of rap he is in. I think it's one thing of Travis, but we're missing, and by the way, Future is, just in case somebody's like, why hasn't he said Future? Future is in that Nick and Drake, all that.
That's Future.
That's we from Atlanta. Future is damn near God does. So it's like
Future in my top 5.
Oh God.
Future firmly in my top 5.
Come on. So that is what I think we're missing, is a good rap album where Lil Baby gets on 12 songs and raps and makes great hooks and has 4 great features on the album and an R&B singer on the album. We're missing that project, and that will catapult rap to where it needs to.
And I don't want to point fingers because this has been a very positive segment, but it's Tyler the Creator's fault. He's supposed to drop this year. But still, I'm kind of for real.
Hey, I was on board.
Yeah,
I was on board.
This might be your fault. On board. This is your fault.
Hey, look though.
This is your time.
Look though.
Yeah.
Tyler has never dropped in a winner.
That's a fact.
Tyler is different.
Yeah.
You don't know where his mind was.
That's true.
He was really rapping, dropped a heavy rap album.
He was at Savannah birthday party, I think.
That confused the fuck out of me, but
no,
I was so happy.
Is awesome.
Being famous is cool as fuck. But so that is kind of what I was thinking, bro. I was like, where the fuck is Tyler?
Yep.
And he's been super quiet, but he dropped I don't know if the deluxe to Call Me If You Get Lost was supposed to serve as the album this year.
Not.
And he's going to come early next year. But I am hoping that I am right in my theory that I've had since that came out was, all right, he's gearing up for a winter album that feels like the winter.
Yeah.
And that is you're right. That is who we're missing. But I think it's hard for Tyler. Tyler, I throw in that Travis era because he's already looked at in a certain light.
Yeah.
So a lot of people already don't look at him as a rapper. Like they think he's too non-conformative to be a rapper. Right. So I think he will drop another classic. He'll drop another perfect album, but I don't know if it'll do what a perfect album from Lil Baby would do, or a perfect album from Durk would do, or something like that.
That's a fact.
That is what I'll say.
And another thing with these artists' development, like growth-wise, what you're talking about is like where we already see Travis, or we already still see Tyler, is that first 12 months of how big can you get is really important to really see how far you can take it. And we've seen artists like Cardi. Like Cardi could have been that type of person.
Yes.
With the way his fans are, but he don't drop no music. Like it's been, wow, when did Whole Lotta Red come out?
I want to say 2019.
Dog, like, and that's being generous, bro. It's been 4 or 5 years. And his fans are, listen, I'm a Playboy Cardi friend. I love Playboy Cardi. Shout out Playboy Cardi. He from Atlanta.
2020, December. It came out on Christmas in 2020.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Like the type of fans he has. Think about, he's been touring off the album for 3 years. He finna go on tour again this year with no new music out. So it's just kind of different because you wouldn't have seen that in 2003.
No.
Nobody in 2006 is going on a tour on an album that dropped in 03.
No.
Like it is the whole game is different now. So
and the Kendrick. Oh
yeah.
You wouldn't see Kendrick we'll call Kendrick Kanye West in 2004.
Yeah.
Imagine if Kanye West dropped a College Dropout and then dropped an album again to 2009.
Yeah, literally, and just And didn't drop.
Everybody would have forgot about him.
And didn't drop anything.
Didn't drop nothing.
It fell off the face of earth. So
that just doesn't happen no more. Yeah. So that's kind of where we'll leave it. Is that we just, as you said, we're at a plateau right now where we're still the biggest, but you feel the pop girlies coming, and you feel Dua Lipa doing something, you feel Taylor doing something, Miley Cyrus is back outside. Yeah, shout out Olivia Rodrigo. Shout out to our girl Olivia. Yeah. Shout out Rodrigo, man. And then you see country music. Country music is starting to make its wave back to where the plateau. Rock is still down here, but those two are where you're looking, and Afrobeats, where those three where you're looking at like, okay, maybe that's what takes over, but we're at such a higher plateau than they are right now. Their up climb is still trying to reach our plateau. And I think before they get to us, something else would have hit by then. Yeah. So switching over to sports, we'll start with real quick. Just how did you feel about the new Undisputed? Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson.
It was giving me a headache. It was a lot to take. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot to take in. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. I didn't know if they meant like. So they said all of them was going to be on the show. I thought they meant, oh yeah, he's going to be here Monday. He's going to be here Tuesday. It is like that. And they are going to do that. But when I cut it on, and it was all there at one time, oh my God.
Michael Irvin was standing up. Keyshawn Johnson was punching the air. Richard Sherman just yelling.
It's crazy. Because I like Richard and Michael. I'm not a Keyshawn guy. Teach his own. I'm just not a Keyshawn Johnson guy. I don't know what Keyshawn Johnson be talking about sometimes. He give me Brandon Marshall vibes for real. He's perfect. And sometimes the show need that, or somebody say something, nigga look over like
that. You need that. So I don't want to say on Undisputed too long. I don't want to be on the show talking about another show too long. But I will say, I think the biggest thing about this is Skip's ego. Yeah. I think Skip, the student becomes a master. Yeah. And I think Skip looked at what Stephen A was doing and saw how Stephen A took a step back into like, I kind of just moderate and be funny. Yeah. And like just get people mad at me. Like I antagonize the people I bring on the show, and then that brings out the best of them. He has mastered that. Like I watched Stephen A for what's that thing called? The thing where you like film study. That's like I kind of like for practice for myself is I watch how Stephen A pushes forward a conversation. He is a master at it. And I think Skip has taken some of that from Stephen A and been like, all right, unfortunately, nobody really wants to sit here and listen to me say the same things I've been saying since 2005. Right. So I'm going to bring on three very big personalities and I'm going to let them be the personality and I'm going to moderate and step in when I need to. So now when I step in and do the crazy, it's funny now. And it's like, oh, there's Skip again. So now you're not just expecting them getting tired of it every day. Right. So that is where I think Skip ego played a lot in this, and I think I will give him a hand clap for that. Not a real one, but I'll give him a hand clap for pat on the back for that, because I think that was important to the future of the show, and I think this show will be successful because you're touching so many demos now with everybody. Now you got the whole Cowboys demo now because you skipping Michael Irvin. Facts. Then you got up north because Keyshawn, and you got the West Coast because Richard was in Seattle and he's an LA guy. So you're covering the whole map, and they're bringing on Rachel Nichols. I think Rachel Nichols will be the NBA host, and I think they have another one coming on. So I think the way he's doing the show, where he's just going to kind of mix the host, Keyshawn will be on one day, it'll be Keyshawn and Rachel one day, Richard and Rachel one day, and then all three of them on Monday and Tuesday. I think that's a good idea. I really do. But and shout out to Lil Wayne for the intro. You're crazy.
Yeah, shout out Wayne.
That's super hard to do on TV. That's crazy. And when I say on TV, I mean to rap a TV friendly song
TV clean
that verse. Well, and shout out to dude. So touching into basketball before we do our whole NFL breakdown. Very excited about NFL, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah, the best sport.
Very, very polarizing week and a half in basketball with the Steph is the greatest point guard of all time. He said it himself, finally. And Noah Lau saying that the NBA Finals should not be considered the world champion. So which one do you want to hit first?
I really like both.
I do too.
Let's just do Steph. Let's just do
Steph. Okay. We'll do Steph because we not. Yeah,
lead with love. Lead with love.
Type shit. Type shit. So first off, Steph Curry said he was the greatest point guard of all time, which is exactly what he should be saying. Yep. I always say, once you reach that plateau, tell people who you are. Like no issue with Steph saying that. I want to ask you this, though. Mm-hmm. Is Steph the greatest point guard of all time? Mm-hmm. 1. And 2, what is your case for him over Magic?
Okay.
Not like, don't tell me why he's the greatest, because we know that.
Yeah,
they know how it's
specifically
why he's greater than Magic.
Yeah. So first, I want to say, I'm glad y'all finally caught up, because we've been saying this for like
2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years. But Steph's argument for Magic was Steph's weaknesses are Magic's weaknesses, and he's a better player everywhere else, basically. Where Magic's biggest weakness was perimeter defense. That's Steph's biggest weakness, and he's still a better defender than Magic. Outside of that, other than passing, of course, he's Magic, the greatest passer ever. There's nothing Magic Johnson does on the basketball court better than Steph Curry.
Well,
it's literally not one. And the problem is, especially how differently they play the game, is that some of the stuff we ask point guards to do today, we don't know if Magic could do. The style of the way he played. Like, if you go watch what made Magic so amazing in Showtime is Magic Johnson was 6'9", and able to catch the board, and every time he did, it was a fast break. But it wasn't because he's LeBron and he's the fastest guy on the court. Magic was fast, but he wasn't the freak of nature LeBron is. It's because basketball is played free throw line and in. So if you caught the ball on the free throw line, it's only 1 or 2 people between you and the basket anyway. And if you're not a good perimeter defender, the game is free throw line in anyway. So you're not running corner to corner, sideline to sideline the entire game. So how would your game translate? Of course, just comparing the two. How would your game translate when, 1, you get the rebound, and it's 7 people looking back at you, because it's not 8 people trying to get the offensive rebound, because it's not 1950. How does that change your already kind of mediocre scoring output compared to one of your biggest weaknesses was small guards fried you? Shout out Bobby Hurley, but it wasn't many of them, which is cool. Isaiah Thomas.
It's not your fault.
John Stockton. Yeah, it's not your. Hey,
play who you play. Like,
but when the game's more spread out, we talking about all time. Game's more spread out. There's not a lot of wiggle room for you to completely hide, and that's a problem. And lastly, Steph affects the game in ways Magic Johnson can't, and that goes for all players. But no other player ever has been more scalable than Steph Curry. Like Magic played with Kareem, but they didn't win the championship every year, and that's okay. You're not going to win the championship every year, but how would Magic fare with another ball dominant scorer or someone who needs the ball? There's not a lineup you could put together that Steph Curry does not make extremely better in one way or another. You have great shooters, now they're getting good looks. You have great slashers, now they're getting slashers because they're wide open. You have bigs that want to roll, free offense rebounds. You have bigs that want to set screens, he's just launching threes. Magic Johnson needs to have certain things around him that Steph doesn't have. So I think that, and lastly, this is the Steph, this is the Joker, Deuce, this is the high Joker. Steph changed basketball. And no matter who's you're arguing with, what player, I don't care if you're arguing Steph, Michael Jordan, Steph LeBron, Steph Stretch from NBA Street, no one has changed the entire world in 6 months like Steph did. Steph changed an entire sport in 6 months. It would be like if Vic got drafted and there were no more white QBs. Like, that's how different the game is now, though. Like, think about it. You remember when we was growing up and you were getting, like, you started getting tall as a kid? And it was like, oh, you gonna be in the NBA. Oh, my fault. Well, like, when I was real little, like 5 or 6, like, I hope he gets tall so he can join the NBA. Because if he was tall, you was in the NBA.
Type shit.
Now niggas in the league, 6'9". That's not even a thing anymore. Where teams don't even, like, it can't be 37-footers in the league. And that's 1 per team. It didn't used to be like that.
And he's saying that, like, the bigs in the league are 6'9", not like every.
Yeah, like the bigs in the league are 6'9". Yeah. Like, he changed an entire sport everywhere, top to bottom. Yeah. And
he damn near phased the position out of basketball.
Bro, phased the position. He damn near phased 2 positions out of basketball. Because when the last time you seen a pass first point guard on the team?
Chris Paul is on the Warriors.
That's the crazy thing. everybody's like, Steph Curry's not a real point guard. Look around you. There's no more real point guards then. Because Steph Curry made all these niggas what they are.
Thank you.
Steph Curry made every single one. There's Kyrie, De'Aaron Fox, Shea, Tyrese Halliburton, all these niggas that jack up shots.
Trey.
That you wasn't doing that. You
Kyrie.
weren't doing that. Yeah, that's the thing. He changed an entire sport. Like, not just, because it's a copycat league. Not just, oh, we got to find someone that plays like Steph. Bruh, you go to a park. You go to a park today, you might go 20 minutes without seeing a layup. Legit. Kids that cannot hold the ball above their shoulders start at the 3-point line still. Still trying to shoot threes. Can't shoot it with two hands. Like, it's such a different... It's so weird. Because when we first had this argument a long time ago, we settled where Magic's greater for what he did.
Of course.
For the league.
Of course.
Like, you saved basketball in conjunction with Larry Bird. But Steph, like... And I'm done. But I want to ask you the same thing and pose you another question. How did you feel about them saying it'll be another Steph before Magic?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. So I'll answer that first and then jump back into the GOAT debate. Mm-hmm. I think this answer is super simple.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Bro.
Like, what are we talking about?
Look, there's been a better Magic in the league for my whole life, damn near. My whole life, it's been a better Magic Johnson league.
Like, have you guys watched LeBron play basketball at any point since 2003, bro? Like, he is literally just a better version of Magic Johnson.
And I don't want us, shout out T. I don't want us to become like a shit on Magic segment.
This is not what this is at all.
But LeBron better than Magic. Like,
LeBron is just a better version of Magic Johnson. So I don't understand.
Magic Johnson with 260 and a better jumper.
And a 90-inch vertical. And then a la Ben Simmons 2 years ago.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton is 6'5". Yeah. Lonzo Ball is 6'7". LaMelo Ball is 6'7".
Yeah.
There are Magic Johnsons all over the NBA.
Yep.
Now, I can say Trae Young, but nobody does Steph Curry the way Steph Curry does it.
Right.
So you'll have people like Trae Young that'll come in and shoot a lot of threes and be saucy with the handle like Steph and be charismatic like Steph is and great with the fans like Steph is. Yeah. But you're not going to have somebody come in and be a better version or equal to what Steph is.
Yeah, not even close.
We have somebody who is Magic Johnson and better. Literally. If LeBron James wanted to say, hey, give me 7 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Give me 7 Hall of Famers and the greatest big man of all time.
Easy.
And I'm going to catch every board and we're running a fast break.
Yeah.
He would average 29 assists a game.
In a no free agency league.
In a no free agency league. So drop LeBron in 2007, give him 7 Hall of Famers, a perfect big man. Who's a good big man? Tim Duncan. Give him Tim Duncan and a bunch of slashers and shooters.
It's crazy. They're going to hate me for this. To be fair, 2007, it would have to be Shaq. Because Shaq and Kareem were comparable at this time.
Yeah, because it was older. It was older Kareem. So yeah, we'll go.
No, because Kareem had already won the ring. He was coming off the 2 MVPs damn near. So she was still like when Magic first got there, Kareem was still like.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah. So we'll say we'll drop it back to 2004 to make y'all feel better. And say Shaq coming out of Lakers. Shaq coming out of Lakers from then on, and you're gonna give young Bron that because that's Magic walking to young Kareem. Yep. I mean, young Magic walking to Kareem. So we'll give him that and say LeBron, we're gonna give you 6 shooters and we want you to play point guard. Don't shoot the ball 12 times a game.
Easy.
He's Magic Johnson.
Easy.
So. No, you're not going to see another Steph Curry come, a guy that shoots the ball at that clip, moves off the ball, and affects the game in the way he does. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see that probably ever again. And if you do, it won't be in the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah. Because the way in which he did it is going to be so hard to replicate because people that come up shooting like he does will have the ball in their hand.
Literally.
The thing that makes Steph Curry is his movement off ball. Mm-hmm. And that is why I don't get why I don't hear that more often. Yeah. That is what makes Steph Curry Steph. Yeah. If Steph wanted to be the rest of these point guards and run high pick and roll like Ish wants him to for 82 games, he would just be another point guard with his shooting ability, probably would have won a championship or 2, but he wouldn't have turned the the NBA and the Warriors into what they became without the off-ball movement. All the open three-pointers, open layups, easy dunks, easy points in transition come from Steph's movement. And a little bit of Klay's, but mainly Steph's. Yeah. So that is my answer to that. We have Magic Johnsons all over the league. Yeah. We have one kind of half-off version of Steph Curry, but it's not even close to what Steph Curry is.
Yes.
So back to the debate. I think you ended it perfectly. Like, everything you said was perfect, but you ended it perfectly. Like, Magic is greater because of the MVPs. He won 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs.
Saved the league.
I think he won 3 or 4 regular season MVPs. Yeah. Like you said, he saved the league. Mm-hmm. He made the Lakers the Lakers.
Yeah. And he was the first person to sign a superstar extension too.
Yes.
He signed a $25 million, 25-year deal.
Yes.
Like, Magic deal was going to expire in like 04. Magic deal ran for a minute. Yeah.
So what Magic means to the sport of basketball cannot even really be put into words. Right. And that's why a lot of people look at you crazy when you say this. Yeah. And it's a lot of older people that look at you crazy when you say Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time, even though Magic said it out of his mouth because of what they saw Magic do for the league. Right. And so I completely understand that because your impact is always going to carry you further than your accolades. Yeah. It always will. But when we're talking about the game of basketball, Steph is just better. Yeah. Like, it's simple as that.
And that's all right.
And the last thing, Ish told you why, so I'm not going to repeat what he said. He's just better. There's nothing on the court Magic does better than Steph other than the pass. And even if you just want to be the guy and say he's 6'9", so I would rather have him on defense, all right, that's 2 things. Yeah. He doesn't shoot from the 3-point mid-range. He's not a better, maybe a better finisher, but not really. Steph has one of the highest percentages below the rim ever, so not really. He's not a better 3-point shooter. Yeah. And so every phase on the court on offense, he's not better than him in it. Mm-hmm. And it's like he's a better passer, and we'll call him even. That's what we'll do. So no, like, he's just on the court in between those lines. Yeah, he's better. And lastly, because I see people say this a lot, which is just lets me know where your head is. So I don't really want to address it, but if you're going to say Steph is not a point guard, then Magic Johnson is not a point guard either.
Thank you, bro. Like, yo.
Magic Johnson is a 6'9", back-to-the-basket basketball player.
Bro.
If he is a point guard, then Steph Curry gets to be a point guard. We can stop having, like, just because he's not John Stockton and CP3 does not mean he's not a point guard. He plays a position and creates in a different way. That's all it is.
What's so frustrating about that, because these old niggas hate, because I've been having this argument for a minute. They'll say that, and I'll be like, okay, what's your favorite Magic Johnson game? It's the game he scored 40. What you mean? That's not a point guard. He scored 40 off jump hooks. That's not a point guard. Like, everyone's favorite Magic Johnson
game. And again, to us it is.
Literally.
But that's by your definition, it's not.
Literally. The 6'9" nigga who backs the ball up to start the possession. They literally made a rule for Magic where you could not back the ball all the way down. It's a rule now.
5 seconds.
That's literally it's literally a thing. That nigga is not he's 6'9". He didn't even play point guard his first 2 years with the Lakers. That was Norm Nixon. They didn't even want him to play PG. They had to strong arm Magic. They had to strong arm the coach into playing Magic as the PG. Like, I can't stand that. And if Magic's a PG and Steph's not, how come LeBron isn't?
Gilbert Arenas said that perfectly. If Magic Johnson is a point guard and Steph Curry's not a point guard, then what does that make LeBron?
And this is why I can live with it. Because if Steph not the best point guard ever, because he's not a point guard, then neither Magic. Because LeBron better than him. So fucking
so LeBron the greatest player ever, greatest point guard ever, greatest small forward ever.
Best skip passer ever. I watched 2 hours of LeBron skip passing yesterday. I watched 2 hours of LeBron skip passing.
By the way, Ish on Twitter posed the question, is LeBron the best skip passer ever? I don't even think it's a question. Yes. Yeah. Jokic is going to come for that title, but LeBron's skip passes be on the money 90 feet across the court. It should be ridiculous.
And for you, Steph Curry's not a PG. Is Jokic a center?
Thank you. All right.
Because ain't no way he could be the center running the offense, right? Bringing it up. All right. He a point guard too. Fuck it. He better than Steph. I mean, everybody a point guard but Steph.
Great. And I don't know if I said this clearly, so I'll say it one more time. Steph is a point guard in an unorthodox way because he is an amazing passer. I don't think his passing gets the credit it deserves. He is an amazing passer. But He creates shot. The goal of a point guard is to create the easiest shot possible most times down the court. He does that. He does it through his off-ball movement and the way the Warriors' offense flows. The offense that the Warriors run does not work without Steph Curry. If you want to go see it, watch them last year when Steph Curry was not in the game and they were trying to run the offense with Jordan Poole. It doesn't work without him on the court.
Yeah.
That is why he is a point guard. He creates for the entire team. Just because he does not have the ball creating does not mean he is.
What's so frustrating is what they used to say is Iverson's not a point guard because he's selfish. Except the most unselfish player we've probably ever seen as a superstar. But that doesn't get mentioned in the point guard categories. With the rest of these point guards who jack up shots and then don't get off the ball. They just go sit on the bench.
And if they don't got the ball in their hand, they just standing in the corner.
Standing, breathing.
Trae Young, Dame, Ja,
all standing there,
just standing there.
Luka, shout out to you.
Luka, all of them. And that's no slight. I understand. That's what most point guards do. Yeah. That's how the point guard position was played. Right. When we off of it, we going to chill in the corner. And usually we got an ISO scorer working out. Like,
niggas watching this like, bro, that's tiring. Like, yeah, I know, bro. You good. Like, I get it, fam.
I'm not mad at you.
Look at how he trained, bro. He hating, dog. Magic Johnson couldn't do it. I would empty my bank account to watch Magic Johnson work out with Steph Curry in his prime. That's one of them what-if things. Oh my God. I wish we could drop 1984 Magic Johnson in a workout with Steph Curry. Oh,
in the Converse.
Like, it'd be over. Like,
so, no allows. And this will be very easy. So people stay on the floor.
Yeah.
If you don't know by now, Noah Lyles said, I don't know why the NBA players call themselves world champions. I don't know why the NBA players call themselves world champions because they didn't beat everybody in the world. Explain to him why they call themselves world champions.
So I didn't understand that because I thought he was trolling. It was so many weird things about this video. You know, we may need to clip this and put this on Twitter because I'm gonna try to chop a couple stuff. Because first I opened the video and he got a USA shirt on, so I'm trying to figure out who the fuck are you, like. And then I'm listening, and it just makes less and less sense. And I guess the moral of the story is the most annoying part about this whole thing was people who don't watch the NBA and know nothing about the NBA were trying to be like that guy in the room. Like, yeah, he's right. Y'all just mad. You know nothing about the NBA. The NBA has not. They're like, what does the NBA stand for? Well, when they started the NBA 120 years ago, it was 10, 15 teams in the NBA. Like, the NBA has not been a national or a domestic league in a very long time. We've had multiple Canadian teams. They're still expanding, but very technically, which of course everybody was doing this week, technically, they didn't play. Technically, the NBA is an international league because there's an international team. But aside from that, the NBA accepts players from literally everywhere. Like at all times. If you're good, you can get to the NBA from anywhere. And some of the best players in the league, reigning, defending world champion, MVP, two-time MVP, is from Serbia.
Another two-time MVP is from Greece. Another MVP is from Cambodia.
I don't get it. It's like, yo, Floyd, hell of a boxer, not a world champ though. He ain't beat my ass. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Like who else is there? Who else is for them to play after the finals? Who else is there to play? Like, is another team gonna watch the playoffs and be like, we'll take them? Yeah, we'll take them.
Go get the best team in Europe and have them play the Charlotte Hornets in the 7th game series and tell me what happens.
Moral of the story is the best tweet I saw from this was skip the in-season tournament for this year and tell them niggas bring their best five. And I'm going to bring my best five. And I'm going to bring my... Because you know the best five. Like, the top 10 players in the league looking at this, like, I smack, bro. Like, I smack little bro. Like, what you think Braun saw? We read that shit.
like, it's so simple,
No, bro. You know what? I just had an epiphany. He might have been playing chess for real. He may be what we needed to get these niggas back in the Olympics. Think about it. Think about it, yeah. Think about it, yeah.
He is the world-class sprinter and fastest man in the world right now. Shout out to him. Like, he's an amazing sprinter. Like, he is that guy on that track. But you just don't know what you're talking about. It's okay.
Who faster, him or Braun?
2003 Braun. I'll take 2003 Braun over anybody in anything. Like, I don't care what you're talking about.
In a foot race, it'd be scary to see. It'd be really scary to see.
2003 to 2008 Bron, I'm taking him doing anything over anybody. I don't give a fuck
that
what it is.
That 07 Bron? Yeah.
That nigga, the nigga that caught the alley-oop backwards with his head at the top of that board.
07, it looked like he kind of realized, oh yeah, I'm real different. Okay, yeah. I do whatever.
God, bro.
But yeah, Noah, you know what? We haven't done this on the show a while. Shut up. Shut up.
That's
bro.
a good one. We have not said that in a word. Just shut up.
You a world class sprinter? You ain't beat me in the race. You a world champion or what? I wasn't there.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? And then
that's how all leagues go.
The funniest shit was like watching the people in Europe that only watch soccer be like, this would be like if one team in this league said they were the world champions. And I have people that actually watch soccer.
The Premier League?
Yeah, and they was like, bruh, it's teams in these other leagues that could beat them. And that would come very close. Nobody is coming close to beating the worst team in the league.
And that's why the comparison is so bad. Because it's a soccer thing. It's a great concept if you don't watch NBA basketball. Because when the World Cup rolls around, you don't know who's going to win. Because there's so many great players from so many different countries. That's not how basketball works in the Olympics. No. If it was, there would be a basketball World Cup. It's a reason basketball is just another event at the Olympics. One of the most popular sports in the world, just another day at the Olympics, bro. Because they are getting scraped off the ground by someone we had to ask 3 times to come play. Like, we haven't sent our A team since 12?
12 was the last 18, yeah.
Yeah, like... And what have we heard about the Olympics?
That shit was disgusting too. That 2012 team is scary as fuck to look at.
It's hilarious. It's like, shout out Ed Edwards too.
Do you know 2012 Bron, 2012 KD,
and
Kobe were on that team?
Yeah.
That was 30 a game Kobe, the best version of Bron, and 23-year-old just came off of finals KD. What the fuck?
I would throw Westbrook coming off the bench.
And
full court pressing. Full court pressing some German point guard who ain't never seen NBA.
And we got 67 and 29 Kevin Love. Like, so we was just out there tripping, dog.
Yeah, that was an amazing team. God, I love that team.
James Harden was on the bench hanging out.
Yeah,
James Harden.
Yeah, just vibing.
Was on the bench hanging out. Actually, that's foreshadowing. But we'll leave that for another day.
That's so funny.
It was foreshadowing.
Blast. It was really just vibing.
We saw who James Harden was. Then James Harden didn't give a fuck about that.
Oh yeah, that's lit.
That nigga's going hard. But
they don't got no clubs out here. Ain't no clubs in China.
Where the Tokyo hoes,
man? Nah, that's crazy. Hey, shout out Ed Edwards for that quote he told Steve Kerr. I don't know if we saw it in the list, but I wanted to bring that up. That shit he told Steve Kerr.
Some of the realest shit you could ever say.
Hey, listen,
and by the way, he didn't say this. I don't give a fuck. He said it in my head.
Yeah. Listen, I think about, God, I wish they got that first pick. Oh my God, I think about them getting that first pick every day, bro.
My life is different.
Like, yo,
I'm a different man if Ant was on the Warriors right now. I'm a different human right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Life is so different. We might be living in the Bay. He said Kobe came off the bench. He said D-Wade came off the bench. He said, I don't see no fucking Kobe's in here, nigga.
Yo, ain't no Kobe on this team. If anybody, I'm the Kobe on the team. The fuck? Who are you talking to, Steve?
That's why it was so funny. Seeing everybody else, like that week and a half where niggas couldn't figure out why Anthony Edwards was on the bench was so funny. Because nobody who followed the Warriors was shocked at all.
Nope.
Couldn't. Nope. It was like, why would Steve Kerr do this? It was like, he's always done this. Like,
this is who Steve is.
Yeah.
Did you not notice Steph was coming off the bench last year?
First time, huh? First time, right? Yo, Steph came off the bench a whole playoff series. He watched him game one.
Steph Curry, the Steph Curry.
He watched him game one. He's like, Steph looks healthy. All right, bet. Sorry, Steph will come off the bench game two. Like, why?
What are we doing?
Anthony Lamb played I will never forget it. He played a whole season. Didn't play one dribble in the playoffs.
Do you? Hey, bro, I was so mad watching last year. Yo, they
it's like he be trolling me. It's like he be trolling me, bro.
Bro, they had videos. They was like, when did you know it was over for your team last year? And I saw like 7 videos from games of the Warriors, and I almost ripped my phone in 3 pieces.
It's crazy. I didn't. Let's just get one out. When did you know?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be real honest. So I'm gonna give my real answer and then I have 2 answers. The first answer was I honest to God knew when Draymond punched Jordan. I knew it was over then.
Oh, yeah.
I just was lying to myself and to everybody that listens to the show. Everything I said was a lie. I knew we weren't.
Like, comment, subscribe.
No. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. Subscribe, please. Like all of that. All of the stuff is in the bio. Secondly, The Utah game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Utah game, but they had the Utah game, and it was a game. Steph was out. Jordan went to go get the ball on the inbound, slipped, lost the ball, and they hit a game winner.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this shit is over with, bro. This shit is over with. And then the road record. The road record was very telling. It was very, very telling.
Was it the Pacers game? What team does Aaron Nesmith play for? That light skin nigga.
Hey, bro. So let's get to the AFC, bro.
Yo, I remember watching that shit like, who the fuck is this nigga? Like, that don't happen to Chevy.
You know he didn't score over 15 points for the rest of the season?
He going blow for blow with the defending champions. He don't crack 15 the rest of it. Yeah, that's what I knew.
Boy,
that's what I knew for.
When I tell you,
that's what I knew.
I was in the crib screaming like, "What the fuck?"
No, listen, no Wiggins. Clay ain't having on defense. I knew it was over. It was over.
Wiggins was just like, "Yep, not coming back for a minute. See ya."
Dog, that was a crazy. We forgot about that.
I came to the playoffs. Yeah, the Warriors won the championship. I don't think nobody beat them.
Hey, you know what? Let's shout out Andrew Wiggins one more time, because for him to come back in shape is ridiculous.
That shit is crazy.
It's insane.
He didn't miss a fucking beat,
bro. He can't. He was the second best nigga on the court.
Easily, like it wasn't even a question. It was Andrew.
Yo, shout out Andrew Wiggins, man.
So, all right, football is back.
Yep.
And we will close the last 30 minutes of the show talking y'all heads off about the greatest sport in the world. Sorry, basketball, but it's just somehow it's just nothing like.
This is obvious.
It's just nothing like football.
Like we can't even pretend it's not.
And I love basketball more than anything in this world, but that football is just a perfect football game. Is nothing in the world like it. A 27-34 game winning drive football game is none like it, bro. But the first thing I do want to start is college football and just talk about one of our favorite entertainers, one of the guys that defined culture since the 80s. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, season kicks off at 12. We know nothing about college football, so this is going to be the least educational segment of the show.
It's going to be pure vibes.
Pure vibes.
Yeah.
I got Colorado winning the national championship. Don't know how wise that is, but fuck it. I'm rolling with my dog.
Shout out Deion, nigga.
Shout out Deion.
Fuck it, I'm not gonna pick against Deion. Like, as long as they don't play UGA, bro, I don't see anything that's gonna stop them. But seriously, like, I think this year will be good, but I think next year. Because I think in college, you can turn around a lot quicker than the NFL because you can just take niggas from other people's team in college.
Especially now.
Yeah, you can just be like, yeah, let's go play over here. Like, come here. Like, I'm Deion Sanders. Like, come play with us. But I think because they were so trash last year.
They were 1-12, 1-11, something like that.
But I think they'll be above 500 bowl game. I think that is the goal.
If they get to above 500 in a bowl game, this is a perfect season, damn near, for them.
Yeah,
like that, going from 1-11 to a 7-5 season in a bowl game, you're very happy with that. Like you said, I think this is a 2 to 3 year turnaround. He's building a program over there. If you notice, the great dynasties are just great programs. Urban Meyer in Florida, multiple years there. Kirby Smart in Georgia took a few years to get on the road. They look like they finna win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
We know what Nick Saban did. Urban Meyer,
Ohio State.
Urban Meyer in Ohio State. I'm missing one more coach. What's his dude's name?
Harbaugh.
No, Pete Carroll, USC. That's what
Pete Carroll, USC.
Yes, but Pete Carroll, USC. But yes, Harbaugh is that's also another one. They haven't won the national championship.
What's the coordinator? What's the coordinator dude with all the Heismans? What's his name? From Oklahoma. He went from Oklahoma to USC. What's his name?
Matt Leinart.
No. The coordinator. He coached Kyler and then he coached Baker. Lincoln Riley.
No, yeah, Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot of programs, just great programs.
Right.
Even if you don't win the national championship every year, 10 to 12 wins every year, that is what they're trying to do at Colorado. And I think he can get it done, bro. He is an excellent recruiter. He is a personality. And I think if people see a great change in Colorado football, then they'll get some people out there. They'll get some young talent out there in the next few years because people are going to want to go play for him. But like it said, I think UGA is going back to back. That's my prediction. Yeah. That is my prediction. What is yours? NCAA championship. We're going to call it now. No knowledge, nothing. Pure vibes. Who's winning the national championship and who are they beating?
USC's going to win the national championship.
Fuck it.
Did you see that though?
Yeah.
Bruh.
He's a silly guy.
Dude. I'm watching it because they got it's always a crazy caption like, oh my God, Caleb Williams is insane, oh my God. And I'm like, all right, let's see what he did. Like, I'm thinking, he rolled out. No, he dropped the snap. pick it up, and throw 45 yards.
On a rope.
Like it was a chest pass. Like he picked the ball, was like, oh yeah, him. And just threw it. Like he did the thing, and I'm waiting for the ball to like go down. It's ridiculous. We posed the question, where would he be in the NFL quarterbacks? I think I had him too low. Because I'm telling you, he looked like an NFL
He's really
if
good.
an NFL player played in college this year, that's what it looked like.
He's really good.
He's ridiculous,
He's
bro.
a really good.
You know he's 6'2"?
Yes.
I didn't know because college.
He looks small. He looks small.
College
I thought he was like 5'11". I thought he was like college size. Yeah.
Bro, they look so little on that TV, but
I've been doing some research over him over the summer.
I heard they changed the rule for first downs.
Where they don't stop the clock anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I saw somebody complaining. It was like, I watched a college football game, and thanks to you guys, it was over in 3 hours.
Damn. Like, yeah. Oh, well, hell.
Do you know how long 3 hours is?
3 hours is such a long
crazy
time,
motherfucker. What in the hell?
Yo, a college football game will start at 6, and the fourth quarter will be starting at 10:30.
Dog. Bro, that national championship didn't go off until midnight.
Literally.
Kickoff was at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, nah, that's
Like, what?
awful. I don't even want to count in them championships anymore. Like, you know how long it take to play that game? Like, them niggas wasn't locked in.
Can't be, bro. Imagine a bench warmer. Like, you just out there. And imagine last year the national championship was 63-7. Yeah. You get to the second quarter, know the game over, and you just sitting there. Like, there. Damn.
You can't be too happy. Because you on the bench, but y'all getting throttled, whatever y'all would have said. But you can't be like
chilling.
Yeah,
you gotta still be locked in down 30.
You can't be on your phone. You might lose your scholarship. It's tense on the sideline. We down 50. I don't want to turn around and see something he don't like. All
right. So, we have been doing regularly reoccurring every week, giving you guys our predictions for the upcoming season and pretty much just giving our prediction for the regular season and predicting teams' records. We don't have time to finish everybody, so we're going to go through and give our records to each AFC division, pick a division winner, and go through the playoffs and have a playoff bracket. And next show on whenever we'll talk about that. Whenever the next show is, we'll do a Super Bowl playoff bracket, all of that good shit. So we will start in the AFC, and you have the Chiefs at 17-0.
Yeah, I still got the Chiefs 17-0.
We don't have to talk about them too much. We know what this is. I had them at what 14-3. Yeah, 14-3. And if go ahead and just say about what you're expecting from the Chiefs. Justin Ross is coming off an injury, finally his healthy off of an injury.
Yeah.
He got drafted 2 years ago, hasn't been able to stay on the field. He looks amazing, though, made the 53-man roster and looks like a number one receiver in camp, after Travis Kelce, of course, who's not really a receiver. Nice. But what are you expecting from the Chiefs this year besides an undefeated season?
Now, a lot of people are going to, because I got a lot of people that rolled their eyes at me when I said they were going to go 17-0 the first time. So let me elaborate a little more for the sticklers for football. So Michael Jordan averaged 35, won the MVP, averaged 35 in the playoffs, won the championship. And the year after that, he played better. So that's what we're in the middle of. For y'all that don't understand, we're in the middle of the best player we've ever seen getting better every year. So last year, it was great. He led the league in yards. Of course, he won the Super Bowl, had an amazing playoffs, but he was hurt the last 4 games. They had an okay season, but, they lost. They lost to the Bills. They lost a couple games that they probably would have rather won. Mm-hmm. And this is the season. And I think they really want to go undefeated. Mm-hmm. The schedule makers have lined it up where I think if they start 7-0, or I think if they start 7-0, they'll be heading into New England to try to break our record for most games won in a row. Because we have that record now. I think we have 20 wins in a row.
When's the last time they lost?
I'm not sure. But that game is that record. Like, if they don't lose up into that game, they'll be heading in trying to break that record.
All right.
And I think that really matters.
Okay.
Especially for a team that really wants to go back-to-back, who fell flat on their face last time they tried to go back-to-back. I think you avoid the Super Bowl hangover. I think you avoid a lot of the missteps that other teams are going to have to deal with just because they're going to have answers that other teams aren't going to have. Mm-hmm. Chris Jones.
Agree.
not playing early in the season would worry me on a worse team, but especially early in the year in the division, this cheese, they're not going to have any problems until the second half of the year. So I think everything is going to take a step forward. And the biggest reason I think they'll be going 17-0 outside of Patrick Mahomes is, bro, they were like the youngest team in the league last year. And all of them just won a Super Bowl. All of them have been in the same system for a year. Yeah. All of them have been improving their roles. Sky Moore is going to be better. The defense is going to be better. And Justin Ross is scary.
If he can reach his potential, that shit is going to be scary.
Yeah.
So they haven't lost since their last loss was at the Bengals December 4th of last year. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So
yeah, they're trying to beat our record for consecutive games won.
So yeah, I don't have too much to say about the Chiefs. I think they're going to go for no worse than 14-3. I think 17-0 is definitely in the cards. I think a 21-0 season is definitely. What would that be? 19-0, 19 or 20-0.
20-0, yeah.
A 20-0 season is definitely in the cards. Because I think they have the best football player we've ever seen. So we won't stay on them too much, but we do have them winning the division, staying in the AFC West. Chargers, I had a 13-4, you had a 12-5, so around the same record. We spoke about them. That video is on Twitter. Please go watch. It's also in episode 46, the one that's just dropping. This is episode 47. So jump into the Raiders in Vegas. Jimmy G as a quarterback. Devontae's still over there. Josh McDaniel as the head coach. Josh Jacobs did sign a 1 year, $11 million deal while we were gone. So what are you expecting from them this year, record-wise, and do they make the playoffs?
Okay, so what I expect out the Raiders this year is Devontae Adams, you are a New York Giant. Because this is going downhill
fast.
Bro, fast. It's going to get, because you're going to look up, and y'all might be the worst team in the division.
Yes.
And it might not be close.
Nope.
Because the other three teams in the division, the Chargers, way more talented than you.
Mm-hmm.
To Chiefs, we ain't got to talk about it. But Sean Payton or Josh McDaniels, and as much as Russ was trash, is it that big of a gap between him and Jimmy G? If Jimmy G can even stay healthy. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you break the record for double digit for leads blown, then you go get a worse quarterback. You still have the same coach who's never had any success at all in any way. I think they got a massive step back. I think their division is going to get better. And, life's not fair.
Nope.
Life's not fair. Nope. Sometimes you just got...
It's just not.
Sometimes it's 3 Hall of Famers in division. Sometimes Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes just play you twice a year, bro.
Like, what? Yo, off game is Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Like, that's supposed to be the easy game in your division.
Those are the must wins.
Like, we gotta have this.
Life's not fair. But
simple as that. Life is not fair.
Yeah, shout out Chandler Jones, though.
So yeah, I feel the same way, bro. I think this is a 5 to 7 win season. Mm-hmm. Devontae Adams will be off that team by the trade deadline. Yeah. He might not be because he has such a crazy contract and he lives in Vegas. He might not give a fuck.
Right.
I would understand if he does not.
That's a fact.
It's the NFL. You a receiver winning the Super Bowl ain't gonna mean shit, really.
And Devontae
gonna
have 1,700 regardless. Devontae go catch his shit.
Devontae not gonna lose one rep this season.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna lose a rep.
So Devontae gonna be chilling. Josh Jacobs is gonna run the ball. I think they'll win a few games they shouldn't because they do have talent. Yeah. I don't think Jimmy G is as bad as people like to make it seem. I think he is an excellent game manager and he serves well in that role. I think he misses clutch throws because he's a game manager and that's what game managers do.
Yep.
But I think he will keep them in a lot of games. I think their defense will be bad and that is the reason they'll be bad.
Yeah.
And I do not think Josh McDaniels is the head coach. So if I had to put a record on it, I would say 7-10, 6-11, and of course I do have them missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd have them whatever 3 wins is. Whatever 3 wins is 3-14.
Yeah, 3-14. So yeah, I'll say 6-11. So this is what I am interested to hear you talk about is the Broncos. How do you feel about them?
I think they'll be second worst in the division. I trust Sean Payton to turn the little things around. Like, there was a lot of pre-snap penalties, confusing things that they were doing that, just inexperienced people did. Right. And I forget who pointed this out, but every person on the coaching staff last year for the Broncos, that was their first time doing that.
So like first year coordinator, first year head coach,
so like the first year, like the coordinator, he used to be a QB coach. The defensive coordinator used to be a DB coach. Like things like that. Like everybody took a step up.
Got you.
And when you do that, it's no one to fall back on.
Right.
It's no consistency in the building. No one that knows the process.
That's an excellent point.
I think Sean Payton, who knows the process, they got a great defense. They got great talent on that, but life's not fair. Sometimes
life is not fair.
Sometimes the $260 million quarterback y'all trade for just not good no more. And he went from maybe be a Hall of Famer to he don't want to run in the pocket no more, but he's not good enough in the pocket to throw. His $260 million contract hasn't even started yet. I think they'll be competitive in a lot of games. I just don't think Russ can be fixed.
All right. So, this is our first disagreement today. I think Sean Payton is going to change life for Russell Wilson and that offense. I truly do. I may be wishful thinking. I will admit that. I might be. But what I have seen from the offseason, what I have been listening to, I've been doing a lot of research on the NFL shit. Yeah. I've been very excited because I was going through some shit last year, so I didn't really hit the NFL like I wanted to. So, this year I'm back locked in like I was in 2020. So I'll start with here. I was listening to Cowherd, shout out to Colin, and he was talking about how Sean said, like you just said, Russ is not a pocket quarterback.
Right.
And if you guys watch Cowherd like me and Ish do, he said, like, it feels like those crazy impromptu plays feel somewhat designed. And he spoke with Sean Payton, and he was like, it kind of was. Like, Russ needs that to stay in the rhythm, and he's at his best when he's on the move. And because Sean is the quarterback guru that he is, and maybe he's not a quarterback guru and he just had Drew Brees, one of the 10, 12 best quarterbacks ever, but that offense was that offense because of the plays he was calling. So I think with that knowledge that he'll be able to open that offense because they have talent. Jerry Jeudy, I think, is a number one receiver. I think he has the potential to be a number one receiver. Sutton, I think, is a good receiver. Hamler, I think, is a good receiver. They have a big tight end. They have a running game. You have the offensive line isn't bad. Nothing about that team screams we're bad. It just screams we were awfully coached last year. They look unprepared. Multiple times a year, they lost games that they shouldn't have. I think we got to week 13, 12 last year, and they hadn't scored 17 points in a game. Like, that defense was amazing last year. They were in most games because of how good the defense was. So I think the defense stays where they were and is in another top 10 defensive year, and Russ does take a leap forward. Now, what I will say is I do agree with you in this fact that we'll never get Russ from 2012-14 again. But I think if we can get a game manager where he is on average 225 and a touchdown and no interceptions, we'll be okay. Because I think we can run the ball in the red zone. I think they can run the ball in the red zone. I think he'll have 5 or 6 vintage Russ games against bad teams. Let me actually pull up their schedule real quick because that'll change a lot of how I feel.
I ain't gonna lie.
If their schedule is bad, I haven't said anything. I haven't looked at their schedule. So I know they have the Chiefs twice, so I'll just count 2 losses. But they got to see the Bills. Yeah, see, they don't play anybody that is like, oh my God. You got to play the Chargers and Chiefs twice, which is awful. But I think outside of their division, the toughest game they have is the Bills, Jets, and Vikings. If I'm looking at this right, Bills, Jets, and Vikings would be the toughest games they have. I think it's any given Sunday in the NFL, so you really never know. But I'm looking at their schedule. I don't think it's too tough. I think the Dolphins will be a tough game. The Jets will be a tough game. And like I said, Vikings,
Dolphins
Bills.
in Miami is going to hurt.
Yeah, but I think they'll, again, because of their defense, they'll be in every game. And I will say this is a 10-win playoff team. That is my verdict this year. They are a 10-win playoff team, and they are 3rd in the division. And like we said last year, this division will be very competitive with the top 3 teams. So how many wins, before we close, how many wins you got with the Broncos this year?
Hold on, let me count right now. Yeah, I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
5-12.
Yeah. I think the last reason I have for trepidation for the Broncos is no Vic Fangio. Losing Vic Fangio is really,
I get it.
I think it's going to hurt a lot, not for Pat Surtain, best corner in the league, or like the elite players, the in-between guys where this scheme was so good and you see it copied across the league.
Type shit, yeah.
And now he's gone completely, but, you know, in Sean Payton, we do trust. And
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Sean Payton.
And listen, I'm if 5 wins, how many games did they win last year?
I want to say like 5.
Really? Okay.
It wasn't a lot.
Dang, I feel like they lost every game.
I know, bro.
It feels
that way, bro.
Every
real
game,
shit, bro. They did come last in the division. They were 5-12.
Okay, I'm gonna go 7. I'll give them 7.
Okay.
I love Sean Payton enough that he's gonna win 2 or 3 more games than they did last year, just off the strength of him being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Type shit. Yeah. So. All right, so we have Chiefs in first, Chargers in second, Broncos in third, Raiders in fourth. I really don't know how you have that division any other way, to be honest. I think that was a given. So on to the AFC-ish. We'll try to get through the rest of these a little bit faster. But your team, Patriots. Yes. Go ahead.
Last place. 4 and
I don't want to have to say it. That's
4-13. Okay.
That's why I asked you to say it.
What
are y'all doing?
We cut 2 quarterbacks.
I saw that. What are y'all doing? Why is Mac Jones the only quarterback on the roster?
We got a new QB. We got a new QB today. Like a new backup.
What was wrong with Zappy? I like Zappy.
He's on the practice squad now.
But for what?
I don't know.
I don't know if you knew some insight. I didn't know if Mike Weiss was letting the tweets off.
No. Listen. The news hit and Patriot Twitter was all confused. And niggas didn't know what. Because first Zappy was going. So half of Patriot Twitter was like, oh yeah, Malik Cunningham's going to be the backup. And then he got cut. Yeah. It's like, it's like, so why do teams have more than one quarterback? We don't know. Like, we cut both. Like,
dog.
And then we traded for some backup.
Y'all traded for a backup?
We either traded or signed some backup from Carolina, I think. He was like an RPO guy in college. What is his name?
Okay.
Will Greer.
No, he went to the Browns.
He went to the Browns?
Mm-hmm. He went to the Browns.
Yeah,
I think y'all were in the trade talks for him, and then he ended up going to the Browns.
I can't remember who we got, but we definitely added a quarterback.
That's hilarious, bro. Bro, they traded all of their quarterbacks away. I was like, what do they got going on over there, dog?
I was like, man, Mac Jones was real good in practice.
Bro, like, he must have been throwing an incompletion all year, dog. What the hell?
Mac Jones was being practice slinging them. We don't got no backup quarterback.
Dog.
We had a unanimous MVP at quarterback and still had a backup. We had 2. We used to have 2 backups with Tom Brady on the team.
Dog, like what?
I don't know what's going on. We're gonna suck though. Shout out Keyshawn Butito.
Yeah. So I will ask you this lastly on them real quick. All right, what do you want to see from New England to at least feel like they're headed in the right direction for the next 3-4 years?
Caleb Williams, you are a Patriot.
Cool. All right, leave it there.
I want to go 0-17.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's reasonable.
I want us to throw. This is the year we should have a defensive coordinator calling plays. This is the year.
Factual. So next on the list we have the Jets. We had a 9-8. Ish had a 9-8. I have it 12-5. The more I hear about the Jets, I feel worse about that. So I don't know, but I'm gonna keep them at 12-5 right now. But week 3, I may come in here and backtrack that. Dolphins, Bills. Who do you have winning the division?
I got the Dolphins.
Okay.
And, you know, the NFL season's weird. It's going to be a bunch of weird stuff that happens. We're going to try to predict some of it. I think Mike White finishes the year as the starter. Stewart gets hurt, and I think he plays great. I really do. I like what I saw from Mike White in the Jets last year. I don't trust that Tua could play a season full of football just physically. But with this much talent on that team, Mike White is the perfect kind of what's bro name in San Francisco? Brock Purdy. He's the perfect kind of Brock Purdy guy to throw in there, manage the game, don't do nothing crazy.
And I will say, as far as backup positions go, that will be the second best place to be a backup outside of San Francisco because of the speed on the outside. Literally. You don't have to do too much.
Bro, I'm throwing hike jet pass. There you go.
Bye, Tariq.
Yeah.
See you in the end zone. So it's I've been going back and forth with the Dolphins. Dolphins and Bills between who wins that divisions. I think when we did the Bills, I had them winning the division. You had the Bills at 7-10, and I had them at like 11-5 or something like that. And I think the Dolphins will be around there. I am going to say the Bills win the division this year because I think it is a very important year, damn near a make or break year, and I'm going to say they win the division. I'm going to say the Dolphins and the Bills probably both are 11 and I said 11 and 5, 12. It'll be 11 and 6. I think they'll both be around there, but I think the Bills will beat the Dolphins and have the tiebreaker. So I am going to say the Bills win that division.
Okay.
But I am going to say they do go 11 and 6.
Yeah, I think I'll have them 13 and 4.
13 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Jalen Waddle.
But Wesley, if they somehow get off getting Jonathan Taylor without having to give up Jalen Waddle,
no, it's too late. Yeah, it was too late.
Oh, it's too late. Okay.
Yeah. After I think 2 days ago or the day before, they had until 4:00. Now he's on the PUP list for the first 4 weeks. So no way he's gonna trade him. And apparently, no troll. They were on the phone asking for Jalen Waddle. I swear to God,
bro. Like I saw that, and I was like, I get it. Like first, I was like, I get it. Like throw it off. Fuck it. Can I get him?
Yeah.
All right. But like
after they say,
was there no backup plan?
Yeah. Like after they say no, like
because like you knew you weren't getting them, so it was like, was there no backup plan?
Like, all right, I will give you the nigga I said if he retired, nobody would care, and you'll give me Jalen Waddle. You told him if he retired, nobody would give a fuck. Now you mad, niggas want to get a trade on him for the cheap. Like,
oh my God. So AFC, is this
North?
North, yeah. AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Bills, Browns.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
Yeah.
Ravens 13-4 is what I had them at. I have them winning the division. What did you have them at?
I think I had the same.
Yeah, I think we both had them win the division. Bengals, Joe, it will be ready for week 1.
Yes.
They were worried about it, but he was back in practice today. Ready for week 1. What do you have them at?
I'm going to go 12-5. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be right there with the Ravens. I think the Ravens will just get one more game then the Bengals will. A little worried about the Bengals online because it's a little new online, but they do got talent there. So it may take a couple of games to figure it out, but losing Jesse Bates on defense might hurt them a little more than we are leading on to now.
I agree. I have them at 12-5, second in the division. I think they will have a very, very good year as usual. I think they'll be right back in the playoff spots, right back in the playoffs, and I think the AFC Championship game will be in their sights again. I think due to the standings, they'll probably have to play the Ravens again to get to the AFC Championship. This year, I have the Ravens beating them and the Chiefs-Ravens AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Steelers.
I've been waiting on this one. I've been waiting on you, Mike. You're finally under 500, Mike. We finally did it. Because you're going to be 7-10 this year, buddy. We finally got you. I'm not gonna lie. Kenny Pickett looks bad. I'm not big on preseason reps.
He looks great in the preseason.
Yeah, but even in the preseason, I don't. One thing I don't like to see in quarterbacks, and we'll talk about Trey Lance a little later. Like, don't be confused in the preseason.
Got you.
Like, don't be confused.
Because this is base coverage, nothing.
Yeah, like we've been working on these 10 plays you gonna run all week. I'd rather you, no exaggeration, I'd rather you get to the line of scrimmage, command, drop back, and throw it right to the middle linebacker, then get back there and it's like, they moving kind of fast. I don't know if it's open. And with the weapons on that team, we saw it a little last year, they don't look like the calmest of people. Like Deontay Johnson, George Pickens,
some hotheads.
Yeah, like, throw the ball, nigga. I think
I was wondering if you beat, bro.
Yeah, I love him. Shout out George Pickens. Yeah, thank God George Pickens isn't on another team. But I think their division is just really tough. If they were if this was an NFC team, we'd be talking about wild card. Yeah, like they might win a division in the NFC. They definitely like if we dropped them in the NFC South right now, they might win a division.
Exactly.
But life's not fair. So
yeah, I have them over 500. Right over 500 at 9-8. I just believe in Mike Tomlin. Yeah. The only reason, no other theory behind it other than Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Kind of exactly what you said about the Broncos. I feel the complete opposite about the Steelers.
Yeah.
The consistency of that organization.
Right.
They will find a way to win 9 games.
TJ Watt coming back.
TJ Watt coming back. I think the defense will be, as usual, a good defense, top 15 defense. I think Kenny Pickett will be okay. I think he will be a 15 to 22 quarterback, game manage them to 9 wins, and I think they will be looking towards the future at the end of this year. But I do think the best case scenario for them is for like in the most respectful way possible. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say they go 3-12 and get Caleb Williams. Because if they get Caleb Williams, shit gets scary in Pittsburgh. So I think that's honestly the best case scenario, but that's not happening with Mike Tomlin. They're not going to win 3 games unless something drastic happens. No. So I'm going to say 9-8, third in the division, and that leads us to the Browns and Deshaun Watson, the creep. What do you have the Browns say?
So this is why I didn't have the Steelers at 9-8, because I think the Browns will be 9-8, 10-7-ish. Okay. I think the Browns have a bunch of talent. Deshaun does not have to be spectacular, but having Deshaun there instead of whoever the backup guy is will help them just manage a lot of games. I still believe in Nick Chubb, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's a horse. I like Amari Cooper. I like Myles Garrett. Defense is kind of coming around. You got a lot of picks that are playing well now. Before, you had the first-round picks, but they were young. JOK, Myles Garrett,
Denzel
Ward, all kind of maturing into great players.
They got Clowney over there, too.
Yeah, Clowney now, too. I think they'll be a lot better than they were last year, because last year they were good, but just underneath the hanging of, Deshaun's not going to play 10 games. This year it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a lot better this year, and I think that's who's going to end up stealing a couple of games off Mike Tomlin.
Okay. You have him in the playoffs?
No.
Okay. I actually have zero faith in the Browns this year. And I'm just going to be honest, bro. I don't think they have I think they have a good roster, but I do not think Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. I think the Browns have this aura about them that weighs on them, similar to what I mentioned about the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. I think it weighs on them, and because of that, I think they'll win more games than the Cleveland Browns usually do. I do have them at 8-9
They're
instead
like the
of 9-8.
Hornets of the NFL
type shit. Yeah, like I have them at 8-9 instead of 9-8, but I just don't see enough of. I think there's so much talent in the AFC that when I'm looking at quarterback, running back, and receiving core, like you have a top 10, but the gap in the top 5 to where you are is large. And I just think a lot of teams, I think they'll be out-coached a lot of weeks, and then a few weeks they'll just be out-talented.
And,
like when they play the
in Houston, Deshaun's not walking through them doors.
He's not. I don't think that's him. I think that weighs what he went through is going to weigh a lot on him, as it should. I think when he goes into home, people are going to be booing a lot. I think he's going to hear a lot of shit that's going to affect him. And I think a 0-4 start or a 1-5 start really fucks up the locker room, and they just don't have a great year. It's truly what I think. All right, so that leaves us with Ravens at 1, Bengals at 2. Steelers at 3 and Browns at 4. So last AFC team, Jacksonville. This will be quick. Jacksonville, we have one in the division. Both of us do. Very excited for Jacksonville. What is the record?
I got them going 15-2.
15-2. Okay.
I think this division is free.
Me too.
I think this division is nothing but slap fest. I think they should beat the brakes off everybody in the division, excluding Tennessee. They'll probably split with Tennessee. But 5-1 in the division is an amazing start, considering what everybody else in the AFC is going to have to go through. I think that's kind of where the Jaguars get blessed, where we were a playoff team. We won the division, but we weren't a great team. We didn't get an amazing schedule. So we got a middle-of-the-pack schedule, up-and-coming quarterback, 1,500, 1,600-yard receiver coming back. You still got ATN back there. Doug Peterson, I trust the coach. I think they'll be amazing. Doug Peterson. I think that Trevor's going to be an MVP candidate. We've sung the Jaguars' praises. So
yeah. I agree. I got them at 13-4. I think they'll run away with the division. Everything you said, I agree with. And I think I'm really excited for the AFC. I've been on record all summer saying Ravens, Chiefs, AFC Championship, but golly, I don't know. Because Jacksonville is going to have something to say about that. So I'm excited for them this year. I'm just more excited to see them play. I think, like you said, they'll run away with the division. But what I'm looking for, I will say, in the first 8 weeks of the season is how fast they integrate Calvin Ridley into the offense. If I see week 2, week 3, Calvin Ridley got 8 receptions and 125 yards and 2 touchdowns, they're going to be hitting the ground running. Yeah. So that is all I'm looking to see, and the balance of run pass, not making Trevor do too much until later in the season. Yeah. But other than that, they're gonna be locked and loaded. That defense is gonna be great. I don't know about great, but they'll be really good. And the offense will be great. It's a lot of number 1 picks on that defense.
It is, and it's like this is kind of the time. That's how it happens too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. This could be one of those years. Like this could be one of those special years for them. Even if it's like an AFC Championship last game-winning touchdown loss, like the first year they lost to Chiefs lost to Brady type shit.
And we haven't done this for Trevor yet. Atlanta always wins. Atlanta always wins.
Shit.
Yeah, we forget about you, homie. We forget about you.
Texans, I don't last in the division. I'm assuming. All right, they have the Colts over there.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win 4 or 5 games because they don't have their first.
Yeah.
So they kind of gotta try, but they're gonna reek, bro.
They're gonna be bad. They're gonna be bad. I won't even really talk about their team. What do you just want to see out of CJ as a young quarterback in a bad situation?
Stay healthy. 1,000% stay healthy.
Stay healthy, limit turnovers.
Yeah. And the turnovers I can kind of live with, but like I kind of said last segment, don't be rattled. Don't be confused because we've seen a lot of first round picks. Even if you come in and stink it up your first year, they're locked in. They don't care. We're going to keep going. Even Trevor, who stunk it up his first year. Don't be unsure. Don't be, you know what? Let's keep it simple. Don't be Zach Wilson. Don't do that. Don't come to the press conference like, yo, y'all got to block. Don't do none of that.
Yeah.
You know, CJ Stroud, you know who you are. Stand-up guy out of Ohio State. You got a lot of chips. You got a lot of chips on your shoulder for what they saying about Ohio State quarterbacks. Take it slow. It's a process, but I really just want them to stay healthy for real.
Me too. Just want them to stay healthy. And I would say, when I say limit the turnovers, limit. You said it perfectly. The second guessing turnovers, where it's like, I'm not really sure I'll throw this, and then you throw it. If you're gonna throw 15 picks, I want 10 of them to come. You tried to force that bitch in double coverage because you thought you were still in college.
Bro, like we got a bad coach. We got a bad wide receiver out there. Ain't nobody open. I'm going to throw it.
Yeah, type shit. Those I'll live with. Colts, same situation. Even worse, damn near.
Yeah.
I got both these teams at like 3 or 4 wins, so.
Somehow both of these teams are in one division because they are going to reek. You know what I'd do if I was the Texans? I'd throw 2 games. I'd make sure the Colts win. I swear to God, I'd make sure they beat us. And vice versa. If any of them get to like 0-12, I'd kneel it the whole game on them niggas. Because y'all not bringing that to my division. But the biggest thing for the Colts, man, I hate it had to be JT because we don't know what get out of JT if he plays for real. I mean, I wouldn't, But Anthony Richardson, he has so much talent. So much talent. Let's not call him Cam. Let's slow down on calling him something like that because that's a lot to be.
It's a lot to live.
But big, strong, fast, great arm, run. Don't do what don't do what the Bears did. Where they were like, all right, we're not gonna let Justin Fields run. And it was like, oh yeah, we stink, so we kind of gotta run. No. Just let him run.
Let him be free.
Just let him run. Y'all got 3 wide receivers on the roster. Just let that nigga run.
So you guys have 3 receivers on the roster. You told your potentially could have been Hall of Fame running back to go sit his ass down and nobody cares, gives a motherfuck who he is.
Yeah, he can lead the league right now.
Said. Fuck you.
Lead the league right now. Like, well, fuck, nigga.
What you told him.
You pulled up to practice to tell him if he left the league right now, nobody would care.
So your words, not mine.
Yeah.
So my advice to the Colts and to Anthony Richardson is I don't care if Anthony Richardson has 12 interceptions by week 6. Don't bench him. Let him play through his growing pains. Make sure he is getting better week in and week out. And once we see that, we have a potential superstar on our hands.
Yeah.
Just let him grow. Let the growing pains come because they're going to come. He is a raw talent, but he has so much potential.
Right.
And lastly, the 3 receivers scares me because I think, as you brought up Cam, I think the biggest disappointment in Cam's career was what Carolina did to him, the talent they put around him. Offensively, defense was great, but I think if you, from 2013 to 2017, if you put adequate prime number 1 receivers, one real guy alone to go with Greg Olsen so everybody else can move down the depth chart, Cam Newton's career looks totally different. Yeah. And I don't want Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud to fall in that Cam Newton career arc, and where before Deshaun Watson, where he was about to go when they let DeAndre Hopkins go, that where you just never get the weapons you're supposed to get, so you can't ever produce the way you're supposed to.
Right.
That's where I don't want them.
And the thing about us saying, let him off the leash, man, y'all go 3-14 like y'all supposed to. That's Marvin Harrison Jr. Fuck, I mean,
Come on.
Jamar Chase didn't get to the Bengals because they were winning games that first year.
No.
They were losing, bro.
Jamar didn't play that whole year.
Yeah, like you got to, bro. Because quarterbacks need receivers. We are not in that stage of the NFL anymore. Like, I hate that where it's like, well, he should be good anyway. No, that's just not how the NFL works anymore. No. Defensives have caught up to the point where if you do not have an elite wide receiver, you're just not going to produce as a QB. It don't matter who you are. So we literally went from Tom Brady getting bounced in the second round by the Titans to winning the Super Bowl the next year because he got better receivers. That's really all it is. So, Anthony Richardson, do your thing, play hard, do what you want, make your mistakes, figure out the league, stay healthy,
keep your head up, and
And next year, it's number one receiver out there.
Cool. And we'll be ready to go. Yep. And that brings us to the NFC. We'll do the playoff pictures next week. I don't feel like figuring all that. I can't figure all that out right now. I don't want to be wrong about the shit we just did to y'all. We watching the video like, hey, y'all just said. So we'll start with the home team, the Falcons, NFC South, who record. What do you have them, and where do you have them in the division?
I'm gonna say 9-8. I think they'll be a little better than people think they will be. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be a little worse than Falcons fans will think they'll be. Yeah. I think they'll be right in the middle of. We got a generational running back. The division is not great. We got talent out wide. Hopefully, in Drake London, Kyle Pitts coming off the ACL. I've had my quarrels with Kyle Pitts. I don't want to put in expectations on somebody coming off a season-ending injury. But I think having Behan there is, listen, this is the way the NFL works, where these rookie running backs might be the best running backs in the league right now, where teams are like, these are the years we give you 250 carries. These are the years you touch the ball 200 something times because we got to get our money's worth. And I think he'll be the best player on the field most games for them. I think their defense is a little underrated.
I do too.
And
that front four is really good.
That's a fact. And honestly, and the rest of the division reeks.
It's bad.
The rest of the division.
It's bad. So I have them at 10-7, so one more win than you do. Yeah. Their schedule is pretty pedestrian, not a hard schedule at all. I think the city of Atlanta will get behind them, and their home field will actually mean something this year because I think they will be more competitive. I think if Arthur Smith can stick to what he has been doing with that offense and just let Desmond Ridder throw the ball no more than 22 times a game. Yeah. There should never be a game, unless they're down the whole game, where he throws the ball more than 25 times.
Right, yeah, where he's dropping back.
Yes. Yeah, no. If they can play action, run, play action, shotgun, RPOs, if they can do that, I see 10 wins. I think their defense will carry them for most of the season. Yeah. As you just said, I think their defense will keep them in a lot of games, and I think Behan will win Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, maybe even Offensive Player of the Year. I think he will come into the league with a 1,200-yard season, 10 to 12 touchdowns, and he'll have 50 receptions this year, 40 to 50 receptions. I think they're going to work him. I think because of how good he is, that will leave Kyle Pitts open one-on-one. I think if he is a dog, he has been complaining to the organization about not getting the proper targets. Marcus Mariota was your quarterback last year. He barely even made the Eagles roster this year. So
shout out Marcus Mariota.
So I expect a jump from Kyle Pitts. I expect a year 2 jump from Drake London. So I expect that offense to be good. Their offensive line is not bad. They have a middle of the pack offensive line. I think if they can keep Desmond Ridder protected, get the ball out of his hand quick, take 4 deep shots a game, they will win 10 games because, like you said, this division is piss poor. Which brings me to the team I hate most in the NFL. Yes, I said it loud, standing on proud. Anybody got a problem with it, come fucking see me. The New Orleans Saints.
Oh, wow. I thought you meant the Panthers. That's crazy. I thought you was going another one.
No, I have no problem with the Panthers. Okay. Fuck them, but I don't have no problem with them. I hate the Saints. I despise them. Real shit. So what do you have the Saints at?
Sorry, bun.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry, bun. I got the Saints winning division. I got them at 10-7. I think I had the Falcons 9-8. I had them 10-7. I love the Saints defense. I love this. I love Marcus Lattimore. Cameron Jordan, I don't like him, but he's a productive player. More so the offense. Alvin Kamara's top 3 player ever. Chris Olave's taking another step. I think he's going to be really, really good. And I think Derek Carr is the tallest midget in the room. Like, he's not you know what? When Derek Carr is playing in the NFC South, he's Patrick Mahomes. That's the gap between Derek Carr and the second best quarterback in that division. Like, he's 3 or 4 steps ahead of every quarterback he'll play in any of those games, and it's really hard to lose. Like, even if Derek Carr is, let's say, the 12th best quarterback, 15th, you're going to be against Baker Mayfield
and Bryce and a Bryce Young with no offensive line.
Bryce Young with no offensive line.
4 games.
And Spencer Riddler. Like,
he didn't say his name right.
Desmond Riddler.
Spencer Riddler.
Oh, no. Who's the other guy? Spencer Rattler?
Spencer Rattler,
yeah. He's in...
somewhere.
I think in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But, like, they're not playing anybody for real. And with that type of defense, it's really easy for them to just flood back QBs. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the defense carries them 7, 6, 8 wins, and Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Derek Carr, they kind of do their thing, but it's kind of by default. Like, if they were in the NFC, they might be the last in a couple of these divisions. But, life's not fair. You're in a trash division. I think Derek Carr is a suitable quarterback, very Matt Ryan-esque. Mm-hmm. And I think he's enough to win you in the division. Okay. Yeah. 6. I think it'll be roadkill, though.
All right. So, yeah, I have them at So, I'm not going to lie. They don't have a tough schedule at all. At all. But I still have them at 9-8 because the games I think they're supposed to lose, I think they will lose. I think they'll lose to the Giants, Lions. They'll lose to the Falcons once. I think they'll definitely lose to the Jags. I think they'll lose the first game to the Titans.
They might lose to the Bucs once, too.
And they might sneakily lose to the Bucs once. And I would say between the Patriots, Bears, and Rams, they'll lose one of those games too. So I have them at about 9-8, second in the division. I do think they'll be the 7th seed in the playoffs, so they will make the playoffs. I don't love Derek Carr. I think what you said about him being Patrick Mahomes is damn near right because of how bad the division is. But
he's like the best junior varsity player going to play with the freshman team.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, man, I'm so nice. Like, no, you're not.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how their offense looks because they do have talent on offense, and their defense is always good. Their Saints defense has been pretty good for the past 3 or 4 years, maybe longer than that. Since 2017-18, damn near, they've been adequate defense with Cameron Jordan up front and Marshawn Lattimore in the back end. They've been very solid. So I expect them to be the same. That home field advantage is going to be a problem. It is every year. So I do think 9 wins and a 7th seed as a playoff is in their future, but like I said, I just really don't believe in Derek Carr like that. I don't think he's that guy. Like, I truly just do not think. No. I've seen him fold too many times.
Great person,
he's that guy.
But no.
Amazing human being. Amazing human being. And please, why is your jersey so small, bro? Like, what is that about, bro? Like, can we change that?
His jersey be tight as shit on the back. Tight as hell.
Oh my! Like he played corner or something, dog. Like, what's wrong with dude?
Like people be grabbing him.
So we'll get to these two things.
He got a slot wide receiver jersey. Like,
what's dude? What's up with dude? Panthers Bucs.
Yeah.
Record for both. What's up? How you feel about them?
Together, let's say they win 7 games. Let's
figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out in the post.
Yeah. But Panthers, I think the Panthers will be a little better than we think. I'm going to give the Panthers 5 of those 7 wins.
Okay.
I think the Buccaneers are going to be sneakily awful. Just bad. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. This your last gasp in the league. Cash them league checks one more time. But they are going to be trash, boy. Oh, my God.
So I have Panthers 4-13. I have Bucs at 3-15. Yeah. Or 3 and whatever that is.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Tom Brady couldn't make it work. I don't want to see what Baker don't do. I can't believe it.
3-14, 4-13.
Yeah.
So NFC North, I am actually really excited about this division because I think the Packers are going to be better than people are expecting, and I think the people have been talking appropriately about the Lions, and we spoke about the Bears last week, and the Vikings I think will pick up where they left off. So we'll start with the Packers because we haven't spoke about them. Where do you see them?
8-9. I think they'll be a lot better than people think. I think Jordan Love isn't ready just yet. There is going to be a little transition between him and Rodgers, as there was with Rodgers and Favre. But we'll know early on, like, oh yeah, this guy can play. He looks confident, talks confident, looked great in the preseason, very decisive as we mentioned, and above all else, this Packers roster is pretty good.
It is pretty good, bro.
You got 2 great running backs, young, fast receivers, talent, and that
good
defense is
that
defense is no joke. Yeah,
and you got a good coach, Matt LaFleur. I like Matt LaFleur.
Facts. So yeah.
Agree. 8-9. 8-9. I think Jordan Love will have a year where you're looking at him like, okay, they're going to be good for the next few years. I think he will be good this year. I think he'll throw some bad interceptions. They'll lose some games they shouldn't lose because they're young. But I think this is a rebuild year, and if you win 8 games in your rebuild year, you're on the right track. I think next year they're a playoff team. But I do think this year is a rebuild year that is positive. I think, like I said, Jordan Love will be great, but what I want to focus on is Eric Stokes, COV, and Jair Alexander, and the rest of that secondary. They were great last year. Eric got hurt, but the secondary was still really good. The front four was really good. I expect that defense to keep them in a lot of games, and maybe even sneak to 10 wins because of how good the defense is.
And 9-8 get you in the playoffs in the NFC.
Come on now. So, we agree there. Lions. We spoke on them. I cannot vividly remember the records that we had last week when we did it.
Damn, I can't remember.
So if you guys watched last episode and we said the wrong record, that's on me.
It's been a whole week though.
It's been a week and a half. So I definitely forgot. 12-5 is I think where I had them, and I'm gonna keep them right there. I do think they come in second in this division behind the 13-4 Vikings. But where do you have them?
I think I have them at 12-5, but first in the division.
Okay.
I think, especially with a division like this, the records are kind of, what did they call that when in school? Curved, like the greatest kind of curve.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of a game or two better than your record says, but you're just playing great teams in your division. So that 12-5, really a 13-4 in a different division. But I still think they'll be 12-5 first in the division.
Okay.
I like a lot of what they added to the team with Chamo coming back, Gibbs out of Alabama, being able to take a lot of that weight off of Goff, who's best, having a running back coming off his best season since LA damn near. I think they'll be really good.
I do too. Vikings. I have them at 13-4 winning the division. Where do you have them? I think Justin Jefferson has an MVP caliber year, probably only wins Offensive Player of the Year again. Yeah. But I think they have a really good year. I think getting Dalvin Cook out of there and letting old boy play running back.
Yeah, Madison.
Madison. Yep. Play running back. I think he's a really good running back. I think what's the coach's name? I love their coach.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell. I think that was year one for him last year. 13 wins year one. I think they build on that. I think it's small things that you get to implement now that you have been live with them now, that you'll get to implement little adjustments you'll make on 2-minute drills and 4-minute drills and things of that nature that'll just give them that little bit of edge. And so they won 13 games last year. I think they'll win 13 games this year, and I think they'll win the division, and this year they'll actually win a playoff game.
I think they'll be, this is crazy, I think they'll be just as good as they were last year. I think they'll win 11 games, though.
Okay.
I think, because all year, I had Justin Jefferson on my fantasy team, so I watched every Vikings game. All year, it felt like, man, they stink. And then they put it together, winning games. But the thing is, when you have, I think they had 10 one-possession games. Yeah. Eventually, it swings the other way, even for things you can't control. So I think they'll be just as good. I think Justin Jefferson will be just as amazing. Kirk will probably take a step forward in the offense, it being his second year. They added another wide receiver. I think they added Jordan Addison, another great wide receiver, to be the number 2 there. But the thing that keeps me away from returning them to the division champs is I don't know if I trust that defense just yet.
Okay.
Harrison Smith a little older. They were banged up last year already. Eric Kendricks getting up there in age. Danielle Hunter. Like, I got to see guys kind of how they start the year and how it looks on defense.
Understandable.
But I think they'll be just as good on offense, if not better.
I agree. Yeah. So, the last point I'll hit is I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins because of quarterback. Yeah.
Shut up. I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins' family. I love that whole family.
I just want them to succeed. As
they're such a nice little family.
So
Kirk Cousins seems like he'd be a great neighbor. Like Kirk Cousins would be the best neighbor for real. He like the type to mind his business. Like you need something, you go over here. Yeah.
He wave every morning he see you.
Yeah.
How was I saw the trophy in the car. What did he win?
Yeah, it seems so nice, right? Like his wife definitely pray for their neighbors. Like they're such a nice little. If you haven't seen Quarterback, please go watch Quarterback.
Shout out to the Cousins family, dog. But 9-8 Bears. Oh, that's where we both had them last year.
Yeah.
Last week. Anything you want to add on to what we said last week?
Yeah, it's just we're just returning to the Bears. The Justin Fields discourse has to become more honest, bro. Because whenever we talk about quarterbacks, there are 2 things that kill every quarterback, no matter who you are: bad offensive line and no weapons. And Justin Fields has had both. Like, everyone, please stop. We don't know if he can do this. Like, we kind of do. Like, we seen him do it before. He's never been a running quarterback. Just, give it some time.
Yeah, that's all. Piggyback what we said last week. Give it some time. Don't panic. Let him go. And 9 wins will be very, very good this year. And I think they'll be sneaking, trying to get in the playoffs. Don't know if 9-8 will get them in there to put the tie breaks and all of that. But I do think they'll be right on the brink of the playoffs this year. And Justin Fields will have MVP type numbers, are very close to. So, NFC West. 49ers, we had a 13-4, which was going to win the division. So we'll start with the Seahawks. Geno Smith, year 2 in the offense. Breece Hall is coming. Not Breece Hall. Oh, my boy. I forgot his name. They got a crazy running back.
Oh, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker. Year 2, and the receiving core is one of the best in the league. You get your JSN off from Ohio State, and your defense, Seattle's defense is literally always good. So, and they got Bobby Wagner back to man the middle of their defense. Jamal Adams is coming back off an injury as well, and you got 2 really good corners.
Yep.
What are you expecting from them?
I think they'll have the same record as the 49ers.
Okay.
I think they'll just lose that tiebreaker.
Okay.
I think this year for Seattle is going to be very scary for the rest of the league because there's a lot of different ways to dominate the NFL. And the quietest kept one, and we just saw it in the Super Bowl, is dominate the draft every year. You hit on 3 straight drafts, you can make a bowl. And the Seahawks have hit on 2. They hit on last year, and they hit on this year. Listen, think about it. They are 1 defender away, damn near. They are a edge rusher.
I was about to say edge rusher.
Edge rusher away from possibly having the best roster in the league. 3 elite wide receivers, elite running back, top tier corner, top tier safety. You're
top
missing
15 quarterback.
You're right there.
And a top 10 coach.
Literally. And I think they'll have an amazing year. I think Geno's going to keep playing well. I think DK, JSN,
Tyler
Lockett. I think this will be an amazing year for them. Second year in the system for Geno as the guy, led the league in quarterback rating. And that defense is going to take a step. With Jamal Adams coming back, amazing player. And what's important about players like Jamal Adams is, even if he's not physically an amazing player, he's almost a coach on the field at this point for them. And for a young defense like that, it's super important. Make sure everybody's in the right spots. Being the coach on the field I can't make this play, but Tyreek Williams 6'4", 4.2 speed. I can go tell him to do it before the play. Like, I can make sure I'm teaching them, this is how you become a Pro Bowler. This is how you become an All-Pro.
Right.
You want to last in this league. These are the steps we need to take.
Right.
So I think they'll be amazing.
Right. All right. So I have them 1 game less than you do, 12-5. This I will talk next. Like I said, next show we'll all NFL to lead up to kickoff. But this is my sleeper team this year.
Yeah.
I think they have a Super Bowl level roster because they're in the NFC. AFC wouldn't even be mentioning that. But the NFC is top heavy with the 49ers, Eagles, and Cowboys. Those are the 3 best rosters in the division. I think right after them, you're looking at the next group of teams as the Seahawks, Vikings, and Lions.
Yeah.
And am I missing one?
Cowboys.
No. I said Cowboys as a tier 1 team because of how good their roster is.
Tier 2, I don't think
that's them 3. Yeah, it's those 3 teams. And I think of those 3 teams, they're the best.
Yeah.
They have the most experienced coach. They have is Kirk Cousins better than Geno?
Nah, Geno. I would say Geno.
I was about to say, I'll take Geno over Kirk. So you have the best quarterback out of the 3. You have the best receiving core. Don't have the best receiver, but you have the best receiving core.
I was going to ask you, if this year, let's say this year goes how we think it will, where Jason is, let's say he's great. Like he plays according to where he drafted. Is that the best receiving core in the league? Even outside the NFC, taking the 3rd wide receiver into account.
I think the only person that you got to
Cincinnati,
the Bengals,
and then
and the Eagles. Those are the
facts. 2.
But the 3rd receiver, the Eagles, is nowhere near JSN.
Right.
And I love Tyler Boyd, but he's not JSN. But I think Jamar Chase is
better than DK.
I think Jamar Chase is better than DK and Tyler combined. I think Jamar is disgusting. So I think it would still be them, but yeah, they would be a top 3, which is good enough, right?
Yeah, right, literally.
So,
like, it's only 2 better than you, or like, the coach.
like the 2 best receivers ever from LSU.
Yeah.
Like, then I think you're okay. Like,
Facts.
So, yeah, I have them at 12-5. I think they have a great year, and I'm very excited for this. On to Los Angeles, the city of angels. And Sean McVay having a kind of a fringe year, along with Aaron Donald. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to keep Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford healthy. What do you have them at?
I think they win 7 games, but I think the 7 games gonna hurt a lot. Because when you're in a division with 2 teams at 12-5, 13-4, I think they'll play spoiler for a lot of teams because they were such a shit show last year. Mm-hmm. This year they won't be great, but they won't be hunting for a playoff spot. They won't be a team that's looking to compete. But they still got the best defender I've ever seen. I didn't watch Lawrence Taylor play, so it's Aaron Donald. They still have Cooper Kupp, first ballot Hall of Famer. Matthew Stafford, borderline Hall of Famer, maybe. If Matt Ryan gets in, Matthew Stafford does. We'll talk about that later today. But it's still some talent on this team. Sean McVay is a great coach, and if it's one thing Sean McVay is not known for, it's losing. So I think as long as they still stay healthy, they'll be competitive. But I got them at about 7 wins.
All right. All right, so I have them at 10-7, bro. I can't lie. Their schedule, they have some tough games, but they have a lot of winnable games. I think, like you said, Sean McVay is not a loser. Yeah. I think he will have them prepared. This is all dependent on Matthew Stafford's health. Let me start with that. But I think Cooper Kupp is a magician on the outside. Yep. Nobody can stop him. Crown. I think Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback when healthy. I think their defense will still be very good even without Jalen Ramsey. I keep saying I'm very hyperbolic if you haven't noticed in the past 100 episodes. But they will have a solid defense. I think the front 4 will still be the front 4 with Aaron Donald coming in on a triple team every play.
He's basically a front 4. He's basically a front 4.
So I actually think they win 9 or 10 games. I'm saying 10 because I'm being on the optimistic side. And I think they're a playoff team. I think we have 3 NFC West playoff teams. I think they get bounced in the first round. Yeah. But I do think because the NFC is so weak again, it's just so bad this year, that I think they win 10 games and sneak in the playoffs. Cardinals, 0-17.
Yeah, 0-17. You know what? No. 0-18. I don't know how. I think they should lose an extra game. They should get an extra loss for how bad they're going to be. Okay. You know how bad your team got to be? Because you're on TV. They're like, why'd you trade Colt McCoy? How bad your team got to be where you're the topic of the day because you traded Colt McCoy in 2023. You ain't trade Texas Colt McCoy. I didn't even know Colt McCoy is on that team still. You're like, wow, are the Cardinals really tanking? Yeah, they stink, nigga.
Caleb Williams, you are Arizona Cardinal.
That's going to be crazy, too, because Kyler got no trade clause.
Man. and he a brat.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Kyler don't look like the type of nigga that take lightly to stuff like that. I put a call in, like, I ain't going nowhere either, so y'all figure it out. Y'all better win some games. Because I ain't going nowhere, nigga.
He's not even going to be there for the first 4 games of the season. Like,
what if Kyler, like, you know what? I like Arizona. I like Arizona. Trade the first pick. What are you gonna say then? Because you can't bench him for 5 years. You can't say, all right, we're gonna pick Caleb Williams anyway, and you're gonna be the backup quarterback, make it 260.
Hey, man. And who the fuck is taking that contract?
You are a Patriot. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't moving mountain to get Kyler in New England right now. He'd hate it there, but boy, I'd love him in New England.
Oh God. So lastly, I would say, listen, you are a Patriot.
Dog, he would hate it so much in New England, bro. He might retire. We retired a couple niggas before. He might be the first QB we retired.
Oh, God.
The type of guy they be saying Kyler is, he don't sound like he messed with Bill Belichick at all.
Nothing about him. Not one. Go from Arizona weather to Boston weather and Bill Belichick. From a coach that don't make you do nothing to a coach that make you do everything.
Bro, you used to show your coach up on the sideline. Boy, I got something for you.
I got something for you, little nigga.
You'll be holding the PATs playing with me, nigga.
So, lastly, last segment of the show, last team of the show. This is probably the one we'll post from the NFC. So, We'll start with the Cowboys because we hit them first. You had them at 7-10. I had them at 9-8. I am going to change that to 10-7. I like their roster a lot. The more I see it, the more I hear about it. I love that defense. I think they might have the best defense in football. If not, they'll have the top 5 defense. Oh, yeah. Having 2 elite corners Diggs changes a lot, bro. That changes a lot.
Diggs and Gilmore,
and it really settled in with me this year. The past few weeks since we've talked about them, like, damn, that defense is really good. The front four, it has been dominant. A crazy front four with 2 lockdown corners. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Like, your weakest part of your defense is safety. So, like, I think they're going to win 10 games this year and make the playoffs. I don't think they'll win a playoff game, but I think they'll have a very fun season. I think their offense will put up a lot of points. Tony Pollard will be up for Offensive Player of the Year if they give him the keys like they should. And I will say this. You had them at 7-10, and you said this year they will be at 7-10 because they're going to put the ball in Dak's hands too much. And I will say this. If they do the right thing and they run the ball 20 to 25 times a game between Deuce Vaughn and Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard that comes out of most games with 17 to 20 carries, they will win 11 to 12 games. Yeah. If they let Dak be a game manager, an elite game manager, they will win 11 or 12 games. My fear is they don't do that, and that's why they're at 9 or 10.
See, that's why I don't think. See, if they played the game how they, if they said, you know what, we keep losing San Francisco, maybe they're right. Mm-hmm. We got a crazy roster. Let's just let them do it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they will. No, Jerry, especially because how Jerry runs this team, how Dak fits into this team. And then the business side of this. Because Dak got a contract coming up, and Dak can't be franchise tagged. So either you going to pay Dak or he going to leave. And Jerry, he's not going to pay. And Jerry Jones was real open about he overpaid you the first time. And now you're playing worse. Like, it's been on like he said you were overpaid, and then you've gotten worse every year. So I think they're going to have to open it up. Mike McCarthy back calling plays. Aaron Rodgers' old coach, they used to open it up. They had no run game for real. Shout out Eddie Lacy. But I still think they stink. Because I think, I forget who had this stat, but Tony Pollard has, never been a featured back in his, football career. Going back to high school. He's never been a 25 carry guy at any level. So I don't think, hey, shout out Zeke for coming to the Patriots, but somebody got to do that. Somebody needs to pick up blitzes. Somebody needs to, it's 2nd and 9. We know this run not going to work, but we still got to call it. Somebody has to do those things. And I think it's just a lot that'll end up on Dak's shoulders. And we know how that movie ends.
And lastly, so Dak's contract goes through 24 of next year, and they can officially cut him and not hit any cap problems if they cut him on the 25 season. So that's why we're saying he's in a contract coming up on a contract year, and then you just traded for Trey Lance, and you might have the best backup quarterback in the league in Cooper Rush. Yep. So it's a lot of pressure on him this year, right? And the aura of the Cowboys that you spoke about, the aura of the Cowboys will provide some needed pressure, some unneeded pressure, and they will lose a couple games they shouldn't lose because of that. But I'm going to stay confident in my 10 wins and leave it there for the day.
And you got the best defense in the league, Dak. Which should be a plus. It should be, man, we're a great team. But if y'all boys don't win, won't be no fingers pointed nowhere else.
But you.
And it won't be Mike McCarthy.
Nope.
Mike McCarthy not going to wear it. They're going to put it on you. They're going to put it on you. Throwing these interceptions. You are doing this. So, big year for him, man.
Yeah. So, my division winner of this division, Eagles.
Yep.
I have them at a very nice 14-3. Mm-hmm. I think Jalen Hurts is going to pick back up where he left off last year, and I think the rest of the team will too. I think that front four will be disgusting with the addition of Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith stepping into the linebacker position, and no, not Nolan Smith. My boy.
I think it was Nolan Smith. It's not Nolan Smith.
No, it's
the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the UGA, the other UGA.
The other UGA linebacker.
God, I hate this. They got them all.
Got them all,
It's
bro.
It's
Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. That's the one. Nakobe Dean, Hassan Reddick. Between them two, and then like you said, we have Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Good gracious.
Yeah.
We got Darius Slay still. We got Bradbury still on the out. No, Bradbury left. No, Bradbury's still there.
Yeah.
So,
Bradbury's still
Darius, Bradbury. They say that Blankenship, their safety, is supposed to take a leap this year.
I keep seeing them tweets. Do you keep seeing them tweets?
Yes. Yeah. I keep seeing that he's supposed to take a leap this year. Don't know why.
In all caps. Aggressive. Smart. Fast. Like, okay.
Don't know why?
Yeah.
Where that
He's
came
the
from?
only safety in the league I see commercials for on Twitter.
So, 14-3, where do you have them at?
What if I told you they're a better team this year?
I think they are.
What if I told you that they're going to be 15-2 damn near? Because everything you mentioned, 1,000% correct. And they upgraded a running back.
Yeah.
Quiet is kept. One of the quietest things in the league.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is him.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is really, really good.
Shout out to UGA once again.
Hey, shout out to you. Yeah, that's kind of, I forgot.
They got 90 Georgia players on their roster.
But man, I think they'll be 14-3, 15-2, dominant. I think they're a better team than they were last year. I think they've improved in a lot of ways from last year. And with a leader like Jalen Hurts, losing in the Super Bowl is a lot different than losing in the Super Bowl with a different type of QB.
Yes, sir.
Like someone, especially just how unique Jalen Hurts' style of play is and where he's come from through that style of play, having to fight that adversity, even to be the Eagle starter, to where they are now. I don't see them regressing at all. Devontae Smith is still there. He's going to be better. A.J. Brown, he's going to be better. They just added another great tight end, a young, fast tight end. I'm forgetting his name. I don't think it was Albert O.
I'll check.
I think it was Albert O, whatever his last name is. Crazy last name. But I think they'll be 15-2. No lie.
Yeah. I think they will be Jack Stoll and Grant. I think it's Jack Stoll. Yeah, that's who their tight ends are. Oh no, Albert.
Yeah, okay. We call him Albert O.
Albert O. Okay, yeah. Okay, so
and he is cold.
So where he come from?
I have no clue. You know what's crazy? I learned him from Madden. Being the Madden leagues,
okay.
like niggas drafted him like a bunch of years ago. But I saw him in the preseason with Denver this year. He looked really good. Big, strong, fast, good hands, especially for this scheme with all the RPOs, all the good blocks. Having an athletic tight end that they can just, we doing all this, get a tight end in space on a corner, go from 15 yards to 30.
Yeah.
Like Dallas Goedert 2.0 kind of. So
yeah, so
and we haven't mentioned Dallas Goedert. Shout out Dallas Goedert.
We never even said the same.
Yeah.
So the Eagles will be better this year. I think they're going back to the Super Bowl, but we'll save that for whenever we come back. But Giants.
Life's not fair, man. Life's not fair, man. Life's so not fair, bro. Because the Cowboys going to be the best defense in the league. The Eagles going to be the best team in the NFC. And Daniel Jones is your quarterback. I love Brian Dable. Off the strength of Brian Dable, I could see them winning 10 games. But it's a very hard ceiling on this team. Like
a very hard
ceiling. That's a concrete ceiling above their head.
Yes, it is.
I don't think they made any giant leaps.
No.
I like
Darren Waller was
I like adding Darren Waller. The receiver they got looks kind of cool, Jalen Hyatt. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about you wearing 13 just yet, but my people will be in contact. We'll see how that goes. We might have to take that number off you. Let's see how the season go, but they just don't have enough.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I have them about 8-9, 9-8, somewhere in there. I just, like you said, I think they will play to the peak of their potential.
Yeah.
But I think the peak of their potential is 8 or 9 games. Literally. I just think you can only go so far with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. I do think their defense will be pretty good this year. I think Saquon coming back and being happy and healthy will be great for them. But Dog, it's just like you said, it's just a hard ceiling on their team. They can sneak in the playoffs. It wouldn't surprise me if an 8-9 team, 9-8 team sneaks in the playoffs. Originally, I said this would be the division with 3 playoff teams. Because I thought the Giants would make the playoffs, but I'm looking at the Rams schedule and I like the Lions, Vikings, and Bears a lot. So I don't know if I want to guarantee they make the playoffs or anything, but I think they'll be in contention at the 8th spot, 7th, 9th spot. But yeah, just a hard ceiling on their team and not too much, which brings us to the even lower and harder ceiling of the Washington Commanders.
That's an obsidian ceiling above their head. That is a solid ceiling, boy.
So what do you have them at?
I got them at 6 wins, though.
Okay.
Which, in that 6, like in Washington, is going to feel like 13.
Oh, God.
That 6 wins is going to hit like crazy. But I think they got a bunch of talent everywhere. I like the scheme that they're putting in for their young quarterback, where it's a lot of easy, deep. Easy read, deep, throw it away. Eric Bieniemy is an offensive master, of course. And their defense, Chase Young playing for a contract, Deron Payne. They have an amazing front 7. I think they'll be a couple years away, but they have the talent on the field to win 5 or 6 games, especially with the weapons they'll be throwing to.
Yes.
Shout out Scary Terry.
That is where I'm going with this. I think they are 7-10 this year, 6-11, exactly like you said, somewhere in that area. I think all you're looking for this year is his defense to stay great and Sam Howell to look like, okay, he is the quarterback of the future. So next year, we're looking for a couple pieces to make us a playoff contending Super Bowl potential roster.
Yeah.
That's all you're looking for. You're not looking for nothing major, not looking for nothing crazy.
Show me the signs.
Just show me the signs this year, and I think they will. I do think they will come in every game prepared. I think Eric Bieniemy they will put up some points. I think they might win a game or two. They shouldn't, just because of how good the offense will be. I think Ron Rivera is the defensive side of the coach, so I think him and Eric are a perfect match made in heaven. And I don't know if I said defensive minded or defensive minded, but I meant defensive minded coach. Yeah. So I think him and Eric are a match made in heaven. And like I said, 7 or 10, like you said, 6 to 8 wins feels like they got to the playoffs and won the Super Bowl.
We got rid of Dan Snyder. It's just up from here. But another thing we didn't mention, but I love just personally, they're not having no fun. Shout out Eric Bieniemy. They not having no fun. It's nothing fun. And I love hearing it. They was like, he's so mean at practice. Yeah, y'all suck.
Y'all sucking.
Y'all
have always sucked.
I've been watching Patrick Mahomes practice for 3 years, and I got to come watch this shit. Run the rep again, nigga. What you running again?
Thank you.
Get to the line, bro.
Thank you.
He like, we don't want to play like this. Good, y'all stink. Y'all should want to leave. We want winners here. Was it Mike Singletary, the old 49ers coach?
Yeah.
I can't win with him. I can't win with him.
So, the last question will be an NBA related and a question Ish posed on Twitter that I did not answer because I wanted to answer on this show. And it's a very fun question. Who are the 3 greatest basketball peaks you saw?
Oh, yeah.
Not that you heard about, the things that you saw with your own eyes and watched and knew what you were watching.
Right, yeah. So I think I was very medicated when I made the tweet, but I was watching 12 LeBron. But I'm going to change the answer. I'm going to say 16-17 LeBron, the year they lost the finals. No, the year they won.
15-16.
Yeah, 15-16. And ironically, I'm going to go 22 Steph over 16. And third, I kind of didn't want to double up because I could have just been like, okay, Kobe. But if I got to pick one Kobe, I got to go 09. What Kobe did in that Magic Finals is kind of depressing.
It's disgusting. It's
kind of depressing. Shout out to Rich. Rich uncle is Jameer Nelson. Like his actual uncle. So I be watching the highlights like, damn, they were so close. Like, and none of the shots are good shots. You watch the entire video. Kobe don't take a good shot till game 4, damn near. Like, it's just, I'm just gonna come down and score. I'm gonna facilitate for 4 minutes, and then the last 2 minutes of the quarter, the game tied. I'm gonna make 4 straight shots. There's nothing you can do about. And that's just it. And that's probably the best versions. I know the Steph thing is kind of, I flirted with 20 for a little bit because 20 is probably the best I've ever seen him on offense. But 22, I think, especially how much we watch him, the added strength, he's so much of a better defender now than he ever used to be, where I consider him a plus defender in a lot of situations for the Warriors. And I don't know if we've ever seen somebody hoop like that in the playoffs at 22.
09 Kobe, 2012, 2013 LeBron, and it is a toss-up between 22 Steph and 20 MVP Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Those two players both are just disgusting. Those would be the three highest peaks I saw personally. I've seen a lot of the full games highlights of 06 Kobe, but I watched that 09 season. I saw him take those shots.
That's really what I meant. Like games where I was sitting down on my TV about to watch the game, like I'm really locked in.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, I'm going to say 17 KD.
17 KD is an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Another honorable mention for me is 18 James Harden.
Oh, yeah.
That 35 a game James Harden was ridiculous.
Raptors Kawhi.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll throw another one in there. 09 Dwight, bro.
Yeah.
09 Dwight. I'll throw a big in there, some love. 09 Dwight. Sure. And in 5 years when we ask this question, we will be mentioning 23 Jokic. Because my God.
Hey,
last year.
Yeah. When we talk about when we have this conversation, the 20 whatever year Giannis won, and this past year Jokic, it'll be thrown around.
Yes.
Because they just beat the brakes off everybody. Like
everybody.
Yeah.
So
like they be on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen these Lakers, but like, what are we supposed to do? And they showed a little clip of him in the fadeaway. Play better.
Play better.
What do you mean? What are we supposed to do? What you think niggas was saying when you was doing that with AD? Like that's why basketball is so beautiful. Because AD was the one hitting that three over Jokic in the bubble. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got that gun though. Then it's what are we gonna do?
So. Excellent show. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all of the good stuff. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. And we will be back. Me and Ish will about to discuss that now. New things coming. Very excited. A lot of new things on the way. New ideas on the way. New content on the way. And we will see you guys when we see you.
See you later, twins.